dedicated to seeing you improve your life, to improve your knowledge, and also to improve your faith in Christ. So we are going to start right away, and I'm going to be inviting one of us who's going to lead us in a moment of prayer. Just so you know, if you're joining us for the first time, this is a faith-based institution, and what we do here, we talk about Jesus. We believe in his lordship. We believe in his vicarious death. We also believe that he's coming back for his own. And what we are trying to do is to spread the message as much as we can in various forms and to prepare people for his second coming. So if you're joining New Life Research Foundation for the very first time today, please be at ease. You would find value in all that we are going to share. And more importantly, we will reveal Jesus to you. Thank you very much once again. I'll be inviting our Sister Patience, to lead us in a moment of prayer. Thank you very much.
Okay, good morning and welcome everybody to day 2. We pray that God who has started yesterday with us so powerfully will give us speed and access even today in Jesus' name. We are praying. Can we just open our mouths and begin to appreciate the name of the Lord? The psalmist say, morning by morning, new mercies we see. All that we needed, your hands have provided. Great is your faithfulness, Lord, unto us. Can we just go ahead and say, Father, we are grateful unto you. Thank you for the gift of another day. Thank you for day 2 of the training. Thank you, Lord, for all you are teaching us. Oh, we bless you. We bless you, Father. Rabu Swanamo Sakatali Boro. Thank you for the help we received yesterday. Thank you for the knowledge. Thank you for our teachers. Thank you for the instructors. Thank you for the organizers. Thank you for all the participants of yesterday. Thank you for the participant of today. Father, we give you praise. Shama reke poswata libara. We thank you, Lord, for giving us another opportunity of today once again. Thank you for yesterday. Thank you for your mercy that came through. Thank you for your hand that was sufficient upon our lives. Oh, Father, we bless you. We bless you, Jesus. Thank you, my Father. Thank you, Jesus. We give you praise in the name of Jesus. The Bible, we are going to be asking for God's mercy. The Bible says it is not of him that willeth or runneth. It is only God that showeth mercy. In the book of Proverbs, he say the preparation of the heart is with man, but it is God that bringeth a fulfillment of that preparation. All we have done, might have done our best, but the fulfillment of those things can only be given to us by God. Can we say, Lord, even today, show us mercy, show us mercy. We refuse to rely on our strength. We refuse to rely on our knowledge. Some trust in their chariots, some trust in their wisdom, some trust in all they can do. But we trust in the name of the Lord. And that name is a strong tower that the righteous runneth into and they are helped. Lord, today we come under your mercy. We surrender our strength. We surrender our weaknesses. We surrender everything to you, that your mercy will breathe on us even today, that your mercy will give us access, your mercy will give us speed, your mercy will help us of the things we cannot do. Oh, Lord, in the meeting of today, show us mercy, show us mercy, show us mercy. We come under your mercy, Father. Jesus, help us, help us, help us. Oh, my Lord and my God, that your mercy will speak for everyone today, that your mercy will help us, oh God. We expose our strengths, we expose our weaknesses, that Lord, you will take over from here and you will bread on us the bread of life. In the name of Jesus, can we just go ahead and begin to lift up today's section into the hands of God as we say, Lord, take over, take over, take over. Can we just ask the Lord to help Once again, can we just pray for the help of God and say, Lord, we desire your help. We desire your help. Our help is in the name of the Lord. The psalmist say, I will lift up my eyes unto the hills, from whence comes my help. My help comes from the Lord, the maker of heaven and earth. Can we just go ahead and say, Lord, we depend on your help today. We depend on your help today. We depend on your help today. Oh, as we come today, Lord, help us, help us, help us in the name of Jesus. Everything that needed to be done, Lord, help us. Help our participants, help our instructors, help the organization, help the things that remain to God. Lord, we expose ourselves, every wisdom that is needed to push us to the next level. Father, today, and even as we come, we ask that your help be sufficient for us. Rakabosu atali paratala, esopotoko borodogodo jedegeberete keberedesh. Oh Lord, help us, help us, help us, help us. Any man that call upon God for help will indeed be help. I don't know the weaknesses, I don't know the distractions, I don't know the things that may want to take you away, but I tell you, if you sincerely cry for the help because the first place what you are doing here, and you will receive enough help. And you lift up your voice wherever you are and say, my Father, even as I come today under you to learn, as I open my heart to receive of everything that will be taught, Lord, help me. Look beyond my weakness, look beyond the distractions, look beyond the things that will be want to take away my time, look beyond every orchestration and help me today. Adventure, you are still struggling, you are still having some difficulties with installation. This may not be your first time into the tech skills, and probably instead of understanding yesterday, you were even more confused. I want to tell you that when you call God for help, He will help. Like you say, Lord, help me, make it very easy for me. This may be my first time. Make it very easy for me. Maybe the installation is still a problem of the various apps. Lord, make it very easy for me. Maybe even getting the apps to use is still a big challenge to you. Can you just still cry to God and say, Lord, I come before you and I beg of you, Lord, make it easy for me today. Even as I call you, Urapo Swata Libogodo Jedegetoya, Iswada Kabara Swata Labarataya, La Swada Kabare Degedele Beredesha. Oh Lord, we ask for your help. We ask for your help once again in the name of Jesus. The Bible says when the children of Israel gathered, Satan also gathered. We are not ignorant of the devices of the enemy. Can we just go ahead and lead up to this section as we fight against every forms of dispute, every form of manipulations? Can we speak to our network? Can everything that may want to take us, like unnecessary things that may want to take us from what we are doing, network interruptions, or every forms of manipulation can begin to take authority by the blood of Jesus, as we decree today be fruitful, today is fruitful in the name of Jesus. We decree our networks are stable. We decree every installation process goes well. I come against every unnecessary distractions and things that will take me away from the place of learning. Oh Jesus, take over, Father, by yourself. Aswata Borogo Sheteke Borogo Sheteke Borodo Bareke Bo Shatali Borodo Sheteli Borodo. Oh, we give you praise. Father, we give you praise. Mareke Petele Borodo. Thank you, Abba Shatali Borodo. Thank you, my Father. In Jesus' mighty name we are still praying. Father, we thank you for today. We ask, oh God, that even as we begin today, that your mercies will come before us, and we declare and we open this day in the name of God the Father, in the name of God the Son, in the name of God the Holy Spirit. Amen. Amen. Okay, I will just quickly charge us because of our time. We are going to be speaking from I want to speak on the topic that says a workman that needed not to be ashamed. A workman. that needed not to be ashamed. And I'm going to be speaking from Second Timothy chapter 2, verse 15. Second Timothy chapter 2, verse 15. The Bible speaking there, he says, study to show thyself approved. Study to show thyself approved unto God, not to be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth. Now, this scripture calls for diligence, intentional effort to present ourselves as workers who understands the truth and nothing to be ashamed of. Now, as we are learning, there is a call that what we are learning, we will open our hearts to it. So it calls for a diligent learning. It calls for a diligent learning, and this means you should focus on, like, you should be intentional about what we are doing here. Go beyond merely reading and listening to things that we are doing, but that you will go, you'll be encouraged to go deeper and avoid any misleading, and make sure you learn all that you have been taught, and that at the end of it, or the goal of what we want to achieve, is to build a foundation of knowledge and character that is so solid, that anywhere you find yourself, you'll be able to defend yourself, and above all, you will honor God, and you don't need to be ashamed. This is the desire of God for us. The desire of God for us. And you see, facing us this morning and telling us to study to show ourselves approved unto God. So it is the expectation of God that everything we do, we should give it our best. We should give it our best. And even as we are progressing, we should know that we are not just doing it for ourselves alone, but we are doing that the name of the Lord will be glorified. So, and I pray that as we go ahead in what we are doing today, that we will not be a worker that will be ashamed. At the end of the training, we will be able to build a strong foundation that even when we find ourselves able to defend what we have. And also, Proverbs will tell us, Proverbs 22, verse 9, it will say, see a man that is diligent in his way, that such a man will not stand for all things, so we proceed this morning. Please, we encourage not to be a worker that is ashamed, but that we should study and do all we can diligently and with all our heart. And I pray that at the end of it all, the reason and the expectation of the New Life Research Foundation concerning this will be achieved in our lives. And let us know that only God can help. So we can also open ourselves to God as we progress on this journey. And I pray that at the end of it all, the name of the Lord will be glorified in your life and all your pursuits and all your, and God will bless it in Jesus' name. I really love to go back to talk to God as we come this morning. And I will round up with this phrase, even as you are here, are you born again? Are you saved from your sin? Have you given your life to Christ? God is calling upon you today. God wants a better and bigger relationship with you. The Bible says, what will lead with a man? He gains all of it and loses his soul. So, what will it profit you this morning if you gain all this knowledge and your soul is lost at the end of the day? So can we just commit ourselves unto God and ask for his help. Father, we thank you. We ask you to honor yourself. Go ahead and honor yourself in Jesus' mighty name.
All right. Thank you very much, Sister Patience, for that wonderful moment of prayers and of charge. I believe we all followed through, and she made a call at the end. If you are not yet born again, if you are yet to experience Jesus, if you are yet to confirm your status with Jesus, whether you are a child of God or not, there's still time. We have our email address, contact@neliref.org. Send us an email and we will reach back to you. Our goal is to help you to also become a victorious and effective Christian. All right. Thank you very much, Sister Patience. So we are going to go quickly into the pre-lab session right now. This is a time where we help those who are still struggling with setting up your PC, your iPad, whatever device you're using to join us and to practically follow through with what we are doing. So I'm going to be handing over to Brother Joseph. He's going to lead us in the pre-lab session for today again. And I hope that we are able to amend or to be able to append to what we did yesterday for those who had a challenge or had challenges yesterday and those who are joining us for the first time. Thank you. And I'll see you inside. Thank you.
Right, so I'll be taking over from here. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. I think in almost all parts of the world it's still morning, so um, I'll be taking us with the. Still be taking the pre-lab this morning, while the other instructors will be in the comment box answering your questions, and our TAs as well, our teaching assistants. They will also be in the comment box. If you have any question, you can drop in the comment box, and I will be able to answer those questions, and also our other instructors and teaching assistants. So I wanted to just quickly give us some etiquettes, just basic etiquettes of joining meetings or being in a gathering like this. We had a session yesterday and we had a lot of distractions where some people who were muted, because before you join this meeting, you automatically muted. Both your video and your camera were shut down before you joined the meeting, even this morning. So we expect that that is maintained, and that is discipline. It's also its integrity is about you knowing the right thing to do and doing the right thing. Most of us here are adults. We are above 18 years. We know we have less than 15-year-old uh, teenagers or even less than 10-year-old who are joining this meeting. And we know some of them who are really maintaining that. You won't see them unmuting themselves at will and just speaking. Even when you mute them up to 5 times, they you won't find them doing that. So if we have kids who are less than 10 years old, and we have some who are less than 15 years old, but are keeping to the basic etiquettes, then how much more an older person who is above 18 years old, who, like yesterday, we kept muting them for like even up to 5 times, because we did that to some persons that we ended up removing them from the meeting. So I just wanted to just um, emphasize on that. That doesn't speak well about us. First, about our growth, and even about why we joined this program. Because also know that you are being monitored. If you were removed in the meeting yesterday, we know you. And we also know that this attendance, if you miss the attendance, we have Luma, and the Luma took attendance. So if you miss the attendance, we still have metadata that has that was able to. If you check the meeting, if you check the meeting link, is why is it that we didn't share the meeting link from Zoom? Why do we have to pass through Luma? Then we had to share with you. So if you missed the attendance, we have the metadata to be able to know who attended the meeting and who didn't. And if you joined the meeting and your internet was poor and you were able to rejoin, that was also being counted. We have metadata that shows us that you joined at this time and you exited and you rejoined at this time. So all those metadata is also with us. And so we're able to know that. And also, so when it comes to assessment or in terms of allowing you for the next sessions, we look at your past performance, we look at how you are distracting us. And for some persons, they may not be able to join this meeting today because it was like a battle with them in the first session and also in the second session, where you unmute them for several times and they still unmute themselves and they had a lot of background noise. They turned on their videos and their background was not also very okay. And we had to just block them for showing up. And I think that was only less than 3 persons, but we actually did that. And that was a hard decision we had to take on those few persons. So I just wanted to mention that it's basic etiquettes that we have kids are less than 10 years old and some who are less than 15 years old, but they've maintained a decorum. You won't find them or muting themselves and just speaking at will, or it doesn't actually for you to show up for this meeting. We've seen you, and the most important thing is for your attendance, your participation. Are you able to get something out of this meeting? So if that aim is not achieved, then the whole goal is defeated. You wasted your time and you also distracted other people. So we have a lot of already people here. We have a lot of our members here who are our participants here who are really paying attention, who really want to get a lot out of this. And we don't want it to be a distraction to them. So if you showed up and you just unmute yourself, just so we know you are also here. No, we don't want to know. It doesn't add to anything. It doesn't add to your attendance. It doesn't add to your participation level. It rather subtracts from your participation. And also, in the end, you may be blocked from participating in the whole program, which we don't want. We want to give everybody that opportunity to be able to do that. But if we can't, if we do all our best, because we gave you chances, we muted you up to 5 times in both sessions, but you still unmuted yourself and showed your background and talking, and there was just so much noise and there was nothing we could do. We just have to ensure that those who are ready to learn, who are here, we give them the opportunity to make the mark to make use of this opportunity and learn something new and to acquire skills. And if you check the emails we exchanged with you, we emphasized on participation, acquiring skills, than certificates. We don't want you to focus on certificates and certificates. We want you to focus on your skills. And that's why we took, if you check, those of you who participated in 2024 or last year, we took our time to ensure that this year we have more time. And that's why we have this weekend and next weekend. So we wanted to be able to get something out of this. We were very slow. As at yesterday, you saw that I was also quite slow. On a normal day, I will go very fast. I will be very fast. Some of the things I needed not to be slow about, I was quite slow. So everybody gets everything. Likewise, our Python programming instruction session, and he is already a teacher, and we also told him he has been training people, and he was part of our training our summer school even last year. So we also told him, and you saw he was actually very slow, and we like it that way. We want you to be able to get something out of this. We'll do Python for this weekend and the AI skills and other things, and hopefully next week we still touch a little bit. We'll get a task across to you in the second session of today, that's in the afternoon, and then you go practice everything, and next Friday we still come back here and try to work a little bit on Python, and then we'll move into machine learning, NLP, and the other um, architectures we are going to be handling. So I just wanted to just say that, so let's have a good session today. Because I'll be sharing my screen, I don't want to go back to try to unmute you. That was very distracting, and we had our instructors, TAs, our leaders here who were doing their best to unmute you, and to try to ensure that we have decorum in the meeting and that. But I just wanted to spend this time to talk about that before we move into that session, so we don't have a lot of distractions as we move into that session. So yesterday, just an overview, this is the third summer school we're organizing, data science and AI summer school. And yesterday we started day one, which we discussed the roadmap to data science and AI. I gave you the roadmap, and we're learning about discipline. That discipline is very important for you to be able to build. If you don't have discipline, you won't be able to make progress. So it's a journey. So you have to start taking the baby steps. And one of the first baby steps you need to take is discipline. Once you are disciplined, you can be able to learn all this and you'll be able to grow. And today I want to bring another baby step. I showed you some of those other baby steps. After discipline and the other soft skills, you have to start taking on the hard skills. And the hard skills we spoke about were things like Python. You learn Python programming, basic statistics, data manipulation, data pre-processing, and manipulation. That's the same thing. Data visualization before even data pre-processing, because when you visualize your data, you know the outliers, you know the missingness from your data, and then you pre-process it more. You prepare all the data sets for modeling, and then you model, you evaluate, and then you go down to even deploying. But even before you even deploy, there are some other steps that you need to take. So ethics and all that, we spoke about all that. That was the first session we handled yesterday. For those of you who missed our sessions yesterday, that was all what we did. And then we moved into helping you to install packages. We know you have to use some tools. We showed you how you can use Google Colab, you can use Anaconda, how you can install Anaconda on your laptop, be it Mac operating system, Ubuntu Linux, or Windows. We showed you how to do that, and we showed you that Google Colab and Anaconda are web-based platforms. They are platforms you find on the website. You can go to the internet and you'll be able to sign up, and then you use them on the internet. And the Anaconda platform is provided by Anaconda, while the Google Colab is provided by Google. It's a Google runtime, freely provided by Google, and you can be able to use it for free. And we recommended those ones for you to use them because we believe that will be much easier for you to navigate, at least for now. And for those of you who are able to install it locally on your computer, on your Mac, on your be it Mac operating system, Ubuntu Linux, or Windows, you install them. And today we are going to even guide you further. For those of you who are not able to do that, we're still going to guide you on how to go about that. And we have all the recordings, and we are going to be sending them to you, where we upload them on our GitHub or on our YouTube, and then we'll send you the links. You receive an email that contains that. So we will do all that. You can watch the recordings of yesterday and you get to know all about the pre-lab, all the packages and everything to be able to participate, because we want you to be able to participate in this. The hands-on session is very important, and we have multiple of those hands-on sessions. We have more hands-on sessions. I think we have more of them than instruction sessions, or even instruction sessions, they can be converted to hands-on sessions. So you have more time to practice, to get to know about Python and also the other machine learning tools that we're going to be using. So we did all that, and then we touched on Python, we did data types, we did um, the basics that you need to, the operations, expressions, and everything that we showed you yesterday. The version, today we're going to be talking more about version control, that's GitHub, Git and GitHub. We're going to be talking about that, and we'll talk more about other things. But I will go back to the slides I shared, and I believe you received the slides. You received, all of you, I think only 2 people who provided wrong emails that were not able to get the slides. But if you're here and you received the slides, type a plus in the comment box. If you didn't receive it, type a minus. I received the slides of yesterday's session, type a plus. I don't receive it, type a minus. If you haven't checked your email, don't respond. Go and check your email right now before you respond. All right, almost everyone here got the slides. That's good. You got the slides for the roadmap to data science and AI. You got the slides for Python. You got the notebook, and also we share the program of events of this summer school. We share that with you as well. We believe you have every single thing, and we're going to share even more. We have more materials to share with you, like those cheat codes. We're going to share more materials with you from today to after the session today, or maybe this weekend. We share all the materials with you, and you'll be able to study them from now to next Friday. And then you get acquainted with Python. You have more, or you'll be more proficient in it, and you'll be able to manipulate with data. You'll be able to explore with different data sets I'll be sharing with you next week. This week, no data sets. Next week, we will now bring in data sets that we'll share with you, and you can be able to play around it. So that said, I will move into, I'll begin sharing my screen, and only one person. Okay, so if probably you provided us with the wrong email, maybe that's the reason why you didn't get it, because only two people out of the almost 400, we have about 400, close to 400 who registered for this summer school. So I will be sharing that again. So if you didn't get it, I'm going to be sharing that here, so you can have access to the slides we used yesterday. Okay, I'm going ahead to share that. I'll first share these ones, and we're going to still be using the slides, and I'm going to share the one for Python. This is Python, and I think this is PDF, and I'm going to share in the comment box. Check the comment box. You will see the slides. You'll see the slides for roadmap to data science and AI. You will see the slides for Python programming. We have 2, the instruction 1 and instruction 2, and then we have the notebook. Those are the ones we have. And for the link, you have the link to the program, so I won't be sharing that for now. So I'll be going ahead to share. I guess you can hear me. I'm speaking very loud, so I guess you can hear me. So I'm going to go ahead to share my screen, and then I'll walk you through. And then before we even go ahead, I want to pause here and ask you, if you were here yesterday and if you were able to get at least Google Colab, you're able to get Google Colab, or you're able to get Anaconda, you signed up on Anaconda, or you got Google Colab, or you installed Anaconda on your local computer, type a plus. You were successful, type a plus. You have an environment you can be able to practice, type a plus. If you don't have it yet, type a minus. That's really good. It seems almost everyone, let's go. I'll type a plus in the comment box. Oh, minus, we have a minus. All right. If you don't have an environment yet, type a minus. You have where to work, type a plus. All right, we have few minus. Majority are plus. Okay, we have few minus. You have an environment to work. You know how to use Google Colab. You know how to use Anaconda platform. Type a plus. Type a plus. You don't have it, type a minus. All right. So okay. So for the few people who are yet to. Okay. All right. So for the few people who are yet to do that, I'll be pretty fast. So because we have a couple of things to handle. So I'll be pretty fast for the first two. That's a Google Colab, and for Anaconda. I'll be pretty fast. So you have to follow me and follow me closely, so you can be able to sign up on Anaconda or GitHub. Google Colab, and you can be able to have an environment to be able to practice. And then outside that, I will also spend more time, because that's where I'm going to spend almost all this time trying to guide you to install it locally on your computer. So because that's the most difficult part, and we're using a popular example yesterday that because now it's soccer time, people are playing soccer, it's World Cup. So I was using that yesterday, that the first two, which is the Google Colab, is the soccer pitch in my school. That's a football pitch. In the US they call it soccer. So the football pitch or the soccer pitch in my school, and that is very easy because I can easily go to the soccer pitch in my school, just less than 3 minutes drive, and I'm there. And then that's very easy, and I can be able to play my soccer. So we're looking at Python, we're looking at data science and AI, and all the applications of data science and AI as a skill, or as a discipline that requires you to have an environment to be able to execute everything. If you want to build a website, you need an environment to be able to work. So for us, we have, and we're calling them IDEs. And who can type what IDE means in the comment box? What is IDE? IDE. Oh, have we all forgotten? IDE. IDE. Integrated Development Environment. Okay, you are good students. We have multiple responses there. So integrated development environment. It's an environment for you to be able to work. It's just like your workspace in your office. You have a workspace. If you go to your office, you can't go to your boss seat and begin to work. No, you have to stay in your own spot. So if you want to play soccer, you have to go to soccer pitch. You can't play soccer on a tree. It's not possible. You can't play soccer on the TV behind me. You can't play soccer on the TV. You can't play soccer on the board. You can't play soccer just everywhere. It has a place for you to be able to do. So for Python as well, for you to be able to execute projects in Python, you need an environment. And those are what we are calling IDEs. We have different IDEs. We have, and we have most of them. We have a lot of IDEs. If you're using Mac, you know we have VS Code, Visual Studio Code. You can work in Visual Studio Code. Some people work in Spider. Some people work in Google Colab. Some people work on Anaconda Online. Some work on their server, on computational servers. Some work in different environments. There are different platforms that provide such. And we know even Microsoft, they have Microsoft environments. that you can also be able to execute those projects. SageMaker and what have you. So we have all those environments that you can be able to work in Jupyter notebook environment, Jupyter notebook environment that you can be able to execute any notebook that you have in that particular environment. So I'm going to be going quickly to that, and then we'll spend a little bit more time, probably 10 to 15 minutes on the other side. But this should take less than 10 minutes for us to, for me to just walk you through the uh, the Google Colab and Anaconda, just for those who were not here and for those who didn't get it. So I'm going to go ahead to share my screen, which I'm already sharing, and I think I have this here. All right, so that's being said, I will go to Google Colab, and if you are on your laptop, go to your browser. It can be any browser, Google Chrome, it can be Google Chrome, Safari, or any other browser you have. Google Chrome works well because it's from Google, so most of them, most of these things work from Google. So I'll ask you to go to, and also if you go to your slides, is also one other thing. You can go to your slides, and we have some links there. But let me see if I have those links as well. I think over here. Okay. Yes. So you have the links here, and you have the slides. I believe every one of us um, is able to open the slides. So if you go here, you can see this link. You have Google Colab and Google Drive. You can sign into any of these. I'll first sign into this Google Colab. Then I will sign into this and quickly show you. So go to your slides. You have the slides in PDF, and click on this. Click on Google Colab. If you've gotten the link, if you've gotten it, type a plus in the comment box for only for those who are not having this, only for those who are not having this set up on their computer, or who doesn't have any environment. If you are there, if you've clicked on this link, type a plus. If you have access to the slides and we're on the same page, type a plus. If we're not on the same page, type a minus. We're on the same page, type a plus. We're not on the same page, type a minus. You have the slides and you can be able to access the links. Okay, only for those who the PDF, if you joined earlier, the PDF is already in the comment box. So you should be able to find that. Or anyone, TAs, instructors, or any participant, you can upload those slides in the comment. Because of time, I won't be able to do that. So you can quickly upload them in the comment box. All right, we're on the same page. So the slides are there. Or maybe anyone can upload that. You have the slides, so just pick then any instructor, any TA, please do that for us, or any participant. Go ahead and upload the roadmap slides in the comment box, the PDF. Someone is asking for that. All right, so I'm going to go back to that place. This is where I was, and I think this is what I was talking about. This is, I just spent like almost 10 minutes talking about some basic etiquettes, and I can still find someone trying to write on my screen. We actually muted everyone from writing on the screen. I can't tell why this person is able to write on my screen. Who is this? We have to take note of you so we know who is this. Okay, I have to drop it. Go go back to my slides. Okay, not there. Okay, so but please don't write on my screen. It's annoying. It's really annoying. All right. So okay, I thought I deleted that. Okay. See, I've actually wasted some time. Um, all right, so if you go back here and you click on this link, it's going to take you to this place. And here you can be able to upload your slides. I mean, anything you have, you already have the notebook. If you go to your email or the comment box, you find the notebook, the Python notebook. And you can be able to, once you click there, click on this upload, and then you find this place. And then click on this. Any notebook you want to run here, you can see this is a Jupyter notebook. This is 2026 Python programming notebook. You all have access to this. Upload it there. You see it's uploading. And you see it has opened. So this is where you can be able to manipulate everything. And you'll be given a task to run the whole of these notebooks. And mind you, and also I'm going to give you that not every cell in this notebook is correct. Very few are not. If you run very few, they're not going to run. And it's deliberate so that we can give you that task to go fix it and send it back to us next week. We'll give you more instructions when we come to that session. But very few cells here, very few, they will not be able to run. And you need to debug it. And that's one of the things we want to give you to go do. And also to give more examples from this notebook. It's part of the task we're going to give you later on. So this is where you can be able to do everything. And I showed you, we have the slides, we have the recordings for day one session. We're going to upload it on YouTube so you can watch everything we talk about. We spoke about the code, the coding cells. We spoke about the code. We spoke about the markdown and everything. So you'll be able to know how to add cells, and whether coding cells, markdown cells, or anything you want to add here, and how to run the cells. Here, how to run the cells, you just click on this. But I know this is not going to run because maybe it may not. So okay, I think it's finally Iran. Or you can run from here, or you can run all. That is, if you want to run all, you can run all. So, and then if you click on this, you can see this place. If you in the second week, we are going to give you some tasks to do. We'll give you some data, and this is where you can upload your data. So you can click on this file, this upload files, and you can upload your files here and run in this notebook. Define the path, it's already here. And we're going to also expose you to AI tools. You can see this place, this Toggle Gemini. This is Google's Gemini. So Google Gemini is provided to you for free. You see, you can ask Google Gemini, run the notebook. Even if you make any mistake, it's going to still correct it because it's an AI agent. It's going to run it. So you can see it's actually running. And because this is from Google, you already have a Google account. This is my Google account. So you can see that having a Google account, it's once you sign into your Google, it's very easy for you to get to Google Colab. So if you're not signed into your Google Colab, it's going to ask you sign in. So you can sign in with your Google. So I know we have those issues. I'm not able to sign in. It's because you haven't signed into your Google. For me, I've already signed into my Google. To my Google account, that's my Gmail account. That's why I can easily go to Google Colab. So you can see I asked it to run it, and it's asking me to accept some things here. I can just accept it because I'm just playing around, and things like that. Creating a new variable for a cell. I would say do everything, maybe run all, or maybe run everything, and it's going to run everything. And we're going to teach you. We have hands-on session on this later in the evening, so I won't be spending time on this. I'll spend more time on it when we have hands-on session in the evening. So, but this is what you have. You see, it's asking these kind of questions. It's because this is what I asked it to do. So Gemini is trying to do some things. It's trying to figure out whatever it's doing. I can't tell, but that's how you can actually run the notebook in this Google Colab. If you follow and you missed it yesterday and you are able to do this, you are able to sign up on Google Colab, you're able to open this notebook, you're able to maybe run a cell, let me know. Type a plus. That's if you fall under that category, type a plus. If you didn't get it, type a minus. You missed it, but you got it now, type a plus. Okay. A lot of people, you all got it. That's nice. That's nice. Nice. Plus or minus. Okay. Okay, almost there. Okay. So use your Gmail account, use your Google account, and you'll be able to get into that. So we are now going to the second one, which is Anaconda. So on Anaconda, go back to the slides. You have the slides. I have the slides. Let's go back to the slides. You have the slides here, and I'll go to slideshow, and then I'm going to. And also another way to sign in, which I forgot to show you, is if you don't want to go to Google Colab, go to this Google Drive, because this is from Google. Google Colab is provided by Google. So if you go to your Google Drive, this is my Google Drive. You see, you can just type Google Drive on your local computer. Google Drive signing. If you just Google Drive signing, or you use the link I provided, just use the link I provided. This is the link I provided. The link I provided will take you to where you can sign into your Google Drive. That's if you've not signed into your Google Drive. You can be able to sign in. You see, this is my account because I've already signed into my Google Drive. So in my Google Drive, I have all these files, and you can see this notebook. I already opened it here. But if you don't have it, if you don't have the Python notebook, this notebook that we sent to you, if you don't have it in your Google Drive, go to New, and then File Upload. From here, you can be able to go to your local computer. You've already downloaded this to your local computer. It's already on your local computer. This 2026 Python programming notebook, you already have it on your local computer, and you can upload it. You see, I'm still uploading it again. You see, it's uploaded. One, upload complete. I just uploaded it. I can reload this to see the new upload I just made. You can see it appeared here. This is a notebook I just uploaded. Uploaded 4:05 a.m. That's 4:05 in Eastern Daylight Time. It's 4:05 a.m. in my time. So if I double click on this, it's going to automatically open the notebook. So you see, it's opening. It has opened the Jupyter notebook. From here, you can be able to work. So if you are not able to go to Google Colab, but you're able to go to your Google Drive, you can be able to open this notebook because it's provided by Google. And Google Drive belongs to Google. Google Colab belongs to Google. So everything is harmonized. Then for Anaconda, I'm going to go back to the slides and quickly demo that. Go to your Anaconda. Go back to the slides. I have the slides. You have the slides. And go to Anaconda. You see the link is provided here. We provided a link for you. And you can see this is the icon for Google Colab. This is the icon for for Google Drive. So if you are not in the right environment, just with the icon, you should be able to know whether you are in the right environment or not, or using a wrong link. But we already provided you with all the links, and all the steps are here. You can also follow the steps. It's very easy. Likewise, for Anaconda, all the steps are provided here. You can follow on your own, or when we are when we're having lunch break, you can be able to run. You can be able to do this. So I'm going to click on this link. Click on that link for Anaconda. It's going to take you to this place. And right here, this is provided by Anaconda, which is the main powerhouse for Python. This is the main powerhouse for Python. And all the Conda or mini Conda and all the tools that you need. So this is the powerhouse. And right up here, you can see sign up. Sign up. And you already signed in, okay? Because I did that yesterday. I already have an account. But for you, if you click on sign up, it's going to take you to a place where, let me log out. If you click on sign up, you see, it's going to ask you sign in with your email or sign up with Google. You can sign up with Google or Microsoft or your GitHub. Yesterday I signed up with my GitHub. You can sign up with your Google account, which is the easiest. Once you click on this, it's going to take you to where you can sign up with your Gmail account or whichever email you have with a Yahoo. But I recommend you having a Gmail account. It doesn't hurt to have a Gmail account. And you can be able to sign up with your Gmail account here. You don't need to do anything. Just click here. If you already signed into your Google, just select the account and you're already signed in. If you've not signed into your Gmail account, it's going to ask you to provide your username and your password. And once you provide that, they will sign you up. Because I already signed up yesterday, I can be able to sign in. So I can just provide my email account here. Or maybe for me, I'm going to go back and I'll do a different thing. Okay. I don't want to follow a difficult path. I already have this, you see? I already have this, my account. So I'm going to sign in. I already signed up. So it's not going to ask me to go sign up or provide anything. It's going to take me to this place. And for you, once it takes you to this place, you see that your screen will be, we have something here like hide something. You can be able to clear that so your screen opens well, and you'll be able to find this notebook. You can see notebooks. This is Jupyter Notebook. This is the environment we're looking for. And you can see this is my account using my Gmail account, and I can be able to click on this. If you missed it yesterday and you are right where I am, type a plus. If you are not there, type a minus. Let me see where you are. You missed it, but you are there, type a plus. If you're not there, type a minus. If you encounter challenges, type a minus. Plus, 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 everyone gets it. Everyone minus. Okay? So where are you? If you have any challenge, type in the comment box. We have TAs, we have people here, even participants who signed up can help you in the comment box to be able to sign up. Okay? Just tell us where you are and where you can do a screenshot and tell us the challenge you're having, and our instructors, TAs, and also our participants will be able to help you. So I'm going to go back to the slides and click on this Jupyter Notebook. You see it's signing me in to Jupyter, already signed into Anaconda, but it's going to log me into the environment. That's the Jupyter Notebook environment. And you see it's opening Notebook. But because I uploaded this yesterday, I don't want it here. So I'll just assume that I don't have that notebook. So everything here I'm going to cancel. I'm going to, well, the kernel, you're going to select the kernel for any notebook you open, but for now, I'll just delete this. I will assume you don't have anything here. So I assume you don't have the notebook, you don't have anything. So what you need to do is go to this place, file browser. Click on this file browser. It's going to open this. You see, I uploaded this yesterday, and this was like 17 hours ago. But now I'm going to upload a new one. I'm going to just show you how to upload a new one. Click on this arrow pointing up. You will see upload files. Click on it. It's going to take you to your local computer. And on your local computer, you can be able to upload this file. You see, I'm uploading overwrite. Okay, I'll overwrite it because I uploaded yesterday. You can see now a file has just been uploaded now. And now you can double click on this file, double click on it, and it's going to open in this environment. So this is where you will be able to work. You can be able to run all the cells, but also it's going to ask you about the kernel. You see, this will pop up on your screen. Select any of the kernels. You can select the one with AI. Probably it's going to incorporate some, maybe it's going to give you some AI tools or even Copilot. I don't think they have Copilot here, but maybe you will see some sort of like AI assistants. I'm more than 13 years old. I can click that and continue. So this screen goes, everything goes. So you see, it has provided me with some AI assistant here. I can tell the AI assistants provided. I don't know whether it's Copilot, but I can say run the notebook, just the way I did with Gemini. I don't know this. I don't know what Anaconda assistant. You see, this is Anaconda assistant, AI assistant. So I asked it to run the notebook, but maybe it's asking some things. It's telling me some command line are bad and things like that, you know. So, and we purposely did some of those things to have some errors for you to be able to fix them. But almost 99.9% of the cells here are correct. It's just one or two, or at most 5, that won't be able to run. And when you try running that, you will see it by yourself. So, so having done that, I believe everyone is on the same page and you got everything from here. If you were able to complete this and you are right here where I am, put a plus. That's for those who missed it. Put a plus in the comment box. If you missed it and you are struggling, you need help, put a minus. The link to the drive is already in the slides, so I won't be able to share it in the comment box. But anyone, any of the participants, the instructors, the TAs, please share the link in the comment box. If you got this, Solomon, I think you've been struggling since yesterday. What's the problem? Can you let us know your problem? Because it's been there that you've not been able to set up since we started yesterday. So what's your problem? Is it your device or what's the problem? Let us know. Type a plus if you got it. Type a minus. Type a plus if you didn't get it. Type a minus. Solomon, type a comment. Send a comment, and our team will be able to assist you. So with that, I believe more than 90% of you were able to set up that. You've not been able to. So what's the issue? You're not able to import files. How were you not able to export files? It's pretty straightforward, very easy. You go to this place, and it's very easy. If you click on this, you will see this arrow, and then if you already have the file on your local computer, mind you have to have this file on your local computer, and you can be able to upload it here. I just uploaded it again, so that's pretty straightforward. It's all right, so so you can go back and read the slides. The steps are also there. Watch the YouTube recordings for last year. We did the same thing last year. You can watch the ones of last year. They're already on YouTube. And we also share the links with you before the summer school. So go back and watch those recordings of last year's summer school, and also the ones for this year, the day 1 and day 2. All the recordings will be shared with you. So if you have any questions at this point, share in the comment box so we can be able to help you, our TAs, and also participants will be able to help you. So I will move quickly to the other slides, the other side, which I will show you how you can be able to install it locally on your computer. So you already have this, so I'm going to get away with this, get away with all this. So I believe you already have Google Colab and Anaconda. So if you don't follow, all the slides are here for you, beautiful. You can be able to follow all the steps. And then for those who wants to install it on their local computer, you have operating systems, and you should be able to know your operating system. If you don't know your operating system, go to your settings. If I don't know my operating system, I'll go to my system settings. My system settings should be able to tell me. If I go to about, you should have about, look at about. Every laptop should be able to tell you. Every laptop should be able to tell you the type of laptop you have. So you see, I went to my settings, and then I went to about. I came to settings, I went to about. I'll do it again. Just for those who don't know, the operating system is possible. Some people may not know, because we ask everybody to come, whether you know it or you don't know it. So that's why we're doing every single thing for those who may not have known where the type of operating system they have. So you can go to operating system. You have system settings or settings on your laptop. Go to that place and go to general. You will see general, and you can be able to see about. On this about, you should be able to find your operating system. So on my laptop, I already have my operating system. It's already here. This is my operating system. And you can see Mac operating system, Mac OS. So I have Mac operating system. You should be able to find if you have, or if the version is also here. I keep updating it now and then. If yours is Ubuntu Linux, it's going to show here. If it's Windows, it's going to show here. So having known your operating system, I'll go back here. I think here. So I'll go back here. And so this is your operating, you already know your operating system. You know your operating system. Mac is this. You have Ubuntu Linux, you have Windows. These are the operating systems that you find on your laptop. For those who are doing this process, you will be able to install all these packages as well. Miniconda, Anaconda or Miniconda, they all work the same. Everything, Anaconda is the main, Miniconda is the another version, but everything, if you install either Anaconda, I prefer Miniconda because it's very easy and it does everything, so I go for Miniconda. So, but if you have Anaconda, if you have any of this, you can be able to have the Python on your laptop, either Python, the latest version of Python. So for you, we ask you to install Python 3.12 or any of the versions from 3.9 to the latest one, which should be maybe 3.13. You should be able to run for this summer school. So we are going to show you how you can install this on your local computer. And then also for Linux, you should be able to install everything. It's the same Python, the same Anaconda, the same. Just that the way you install it is different. How to install this on your local computer is quite different. So, and these are some of the libraries that you're going to be installing, and for different tasks. For some are for supervised learning, for statistics, for object-oriented programming in Python, for Python programming and all that. You'll be able to do that. And also the good thing is Python has built-in libraries, and that was handled yesterday. So you should be able to, you know what that means. So I'll go back to this slide. So for those who have Mac operating system, there is a way you can be able to install this on your local computer. And we provided you with this link in bracket, this link. If you're able to run this link on your local computer, this link, right from this link, okay. If you're able to run this link, it should be able to install Anaconda on your laptop. So you can run that. You can get this link. If you have Ubuntu Linux, we provided you with this link. Look at bash, this link. Bash and this, not link, this installation phrase that you can be able to install. This is in shell. This sh is shell because we showed it on the terminal. You're going to install the terminal, and it's in shell environment. So, and this is a shell environment. So this is the shell environment. So everybody on your local computer, you have this terminal. You have this terminal, and yesterday we asked you to go to your search, wherever your search is. I don't know where your search is on your computer. Go to your search and look for terminal. You can see terminal. It's appearing right there, terminal. And click on this. This is the arrow. You can see terminal. And it's going to take you to this kind of environment. If it's going to take you to your home directory. And for me, this is my home directory. Your home directory may be different. It's your name, how you registered it on your local computer. And so where we're asking you to run the code is right here. If I'm not having this, if I'm not having, okay, I want to escape. I want to copy this link. Take it up. So I'm going to quickly copy this link. This is for Mac. You see, because I'm having Mac, I'm going to copy this link in brackets. For you, go to where your device is located. If you are using Ubuntu Linux, go here. If you're using Windows, go here. And you know where you're going to upload, what you're going to run. Here you are going to run this. You're going to run this. Look at it here. You can actually download it. You can go to this doc. You can copy it you can copy this to your internet, and then you can download this. Look at it here. You can be able to download it for Windows. This is the latest one. And you see here, this is where I believe this is for Windows, because the link we supplied there was for Windows. So I believe this is for Windows. If you try it and it gives you an error, then that's a different thing. You can be able to download it locally. Download it, and once you download it, you can be able to install it on your computer. And once you follow the steps, you download it first, and then if you don't want to download it from there, we provided another link here. And this link contains the command you are going to run. So if you don't want to download it locally, you can just click on this link that's on bash. You click on this, and it's going to supply you with this same. You can see for Ubuntu Linux, for Mac, I just provided this link, but for you, I provided a link where you can download it locally, or you can also come here and copy this link. You copy this link to your Linux, to your Windows, and if you're using Windows, you have to move away from PS and go to your computer. You can do CMD. We provided you with CMD. All the instructions are provided there. I think in the slides you can see CMD. Not here, but if you go back to, I think somewhere it was provided for you to be able to run. I think this is for, okay, this is, yes, here. So here you can be able to see, so these are the slides. Check all the slides, you'll be able to find that. You can see CMD. So move away from the PowerShell to your command prompt. So your command prompt, currently if you're using some PS, you have to move away from PS to C. That's your command prompt. And your command prompt, you have to type this command, this CMD, which is command. CMD, and it goes to command. And then from there, you can be able to copy this link. If you're using Windows, copy this link. That's if you don't want to download it locally, as I showed you earlier. I showed you how to download it locally. or if you don't want to do that, you copy that link and then you paste it here. And then you are able to download it. But this is, I'm not using using Windows, so I don't need this link. So I'm not going to run this link because I'm using Mac. So because I'm using Mac, I'm going to go back to, I'm using Mac operating system. I'm going to go back to my slides. And in my slides, I'm going to go to where I need to, where's my Mac? My Mac is right over here. So I'll copy this link. And if you are doing this and you follow, type a plus. If you don't follow, if you are doing this and you don't follow, type a minus or in the comment box. Okay. Yes. Beginners, I understand it can be hard. Yes, you can meet up. It's gonna be a little bit. Yes, you can go through the slides and also the recordings over and over. I know it can be challenging, but yes, you can do it. This is very possible. We believe you can do it. Oh, it seems my laptop is slow. All right. So it seems my connection was quite slow. Oh. All right. So I think I had a breakdown from my internet connection, but I'm back. So now if you go back to your slides, I'll go back to my slides and oh, how do I get this? Okay. So I go back to my slides and I'm copying this link. That's if you're using Mac operating system. And then you can be able to run this on your local computer. If you're using Ubuntu Linux, the only thing you need to do, the steps are there for you. Sudo apt updates, you do that. That's to update packages on your laptop. And then sudo apt install Python 3. And we've already provided that for you. And everything is there. You followed all those steps. And then you can be able to launch Jupyter Notebook in the end. The same thing for Windows. I showed you how you can do that. After that, you create the environment. And after creating the environment, you can go to activate your environment. And then you go to install Jupyter Lab. And then you can be able to launch Jupyter Notebook. So all the steps are provided for Mac operating system, Ubuntu Linux, and Windows. So this is the one I'm using. So you can see I already have it. So it may not be able to run, but even at that, if that link doesn't work, you still have this link I provided. You can go back here. The link has been provided there. If you go back to the slides, you'll have the slides. So if you go back here, we provided you with this link. The same link, you can see it appears here, here, and here. So that means whichever operating system you're using, you should be able to install it, be it Windows, Mac, or Linux. So for Mac operating system, you come here because you want to install on the command line. So this is the link. If that link I provided didn't work, because that was probably maybe I provided the one for last year, I can't remember. But if it doesn't work, we provided you with an alternative. You can come here and copy this link for Mac, and you paste it there, and you see it's running, it's installing, because this is for Mac, and so this just finished installing. But for me, well, this is just probably updating because I already have it installed, so I believe it's just updating. So I'll go back to my slides, and then I will follow the next step, because in Mac, instead of using sudo apt update or counter as we may do in Windows, I can do brew install Python 3.10, 3.10. If I want to install Python 3.1 or 3.31, I will do that. I will just specify the version of Python I want to install. And because it's Mac, it's going to be brew. And I can specify here, let me say one point. I will not install 10, maybe 0.13 is the latest version. So let me try that. Brew install. And you see, it's going to start running. You see, it's running. It's installing. You can do that on Mac. You can do that on Windows. On Windows, it's different. You just have to follow what is obtainable for your own operating system. So you see, everything is running. I'm not doing anything, and it's going to provide me with, do you want to proceed with the installation? I will type Y. And you see, everything is doing, my hands are up, but everything is running. And you have to do that as well. If you're using Windows, do that. If you're using Ubuntu Linux, do that. If you encounter errors, put them in the comment box, and we will be able to answer you at any time. And even during lunch break, we'll be able to handle that. So with that I will take more questions. I will check the comment box. If you have any questions, drop them there, and I will be able to answer you. Oh, okay. My screen is not being shared. Oh, sorry. That was my internet connection. Okay, so I will quickly go back and demo that. So this is what I just showed you. I'll go back a little bit. I'll take a step back. So I showed you here that you can come to your screen, or come to this slide which you all have. If you're using Mac, these are the steps. If you're using Ubuntu Linux, these are the steps. If you're using Windows, these are the steps. You see, Mac uses brew, but Ubuntu Linux doesn't use brew. It uses sudo apt install. Uses sudo instead of brew. And here, you can use brew on Windows, and even sudo may not, pip actually works, but we provided you with just conda, because conda is popular with just anything. Conda is from Anaconda. So with conda, you can be able to install things on Windows, even on even on Ubuntu Linux or Mac. With just conda command, you can see, maybe I provided conda commands, or if I didn't provide it, yes, you can see conda install Jupyter Lab. And here you may see pip install Jupyter Lab, or even conda install this will still work. Or conda here, conda works on all of them. Conda works on all of them. But if you're using something like sudo, it's not going to work on Mac. Probably, well, maybe I haven't tried it. Maybe it works, maybe not. But I don't think it's going to work because it's brew. That's what I don't know. So, and then you go back to, Ubuntu Linux. You try using that. And also I showed you that you have this link here. It shows here. You have the link here, and you have the link here. And that's not by mistake. That you can be able to find the exact command, the exact link, because this was provided probably earlier. So you can get the latest link if this doesn't work. If this doesn't work, you have another link here. Go here, and you find the latest one. If this doesn't work, go here, and you find the latest one. And I gave you an example where I clicked on this. Let me escape. Right, you can see my screen now. And let me go back to I'm going back to this, and I'm going to click on this link, and it took me to here. This is where it took me to. And I showed you earlier, and I'm going to still show you again, that this place comprises of Windows, Mac operating system, and you can see Linux. So it depends on your operating system. If you're using Windows and you need the latest link that you can be able to install, come here and you'll be able to find this link, and you can copy it from here. Copy. And then you can be able to install. And they also provide some steps here as well. And also a lot of documentation. You can read Anaconda documentation and get to know more things, even troubleshooting or installing. They provide a lot of information, so you can read more about this. But we are just providing you with the things you need to be able to install this on your local computer. And then you go back. If you go back to Mac, because I'm using Mac, I'm going to click on this. And I showed you earlier that I copied this link, which is for my own Mac operating system. And then I went back to my terminal, look at my terminal down here. And then I entered this link here. This is the latest link. And then I clicked on enter. And you can see it's downloading. 18.922. You see, it finished downloading. So if you are using Windows, you do the same thing. If you're using Ubuntu Linux, do the same thing. If you encounter issues, let me know. And I also showed you how, if you're using Windows, you can move away from the PowerShell to the command place where you can be able to run that. So if I want to install Jupyter Lab, I can say install Jupyter Lab, and that will also work from here. And I want to pick one of the links I provided in the comment, I provided here, and try it. And I was showing you how you can install a specific version of Python. Let me know if you follow. It seems I'm being all right. Okay, so I'm going back here, and I'm going to copy this link, and I showed you my screen is not responding. I have to get rid of some of this. I opened too many, so I have to clear some. Okay, so I think it should be able to work now. I'll reload this. It doesn't work. Oh, I can take it to another browser. I have another browser here. And this should work. All right. Okay, so I came to Google Chrome and it works. So I will go back to here, and I'll copy this link, brew install Python 3.10 or Python 3.10. So for me, I will install the latest, not 3.10, which is a past version, but that version can still work in the course of this summer school. But I want to install the latest one, which is 3.13. So if I click on enter, everything is going to run. And you can see I already have this installed. To install 3.1, okay, they are showing me to install this specific version. I have to copy this 3.1. This, if I want to install this one, I can also try to install that. Or maybe there are errors, but at least you know how to install it. You can install Python 3 point whatever, or it could be 3.10. If I want to install 3.10, because sometimes or you are working with some packages that needs a specific version of Python, and you can be able to install different versions. So not only one version, you can install many versions of Python on your device. You see, I'm installing 3.10. I can install 3.9 or 3.7, 3.11. I can install many Python versions. This one is still installing. If it brings something like maybe up to agree and say yes, I can put Y, and everything keeps running, and that's finished running. So with that, I will ask if you have any questions. If you were able to follow and you did something, type a plus in the comment box. If you don't follow, type a minus. And then with that, we've come to the end of this, and we'll take some. I'll hand it back to Fred. And if you have any pressing questions, you can ask. If you don't follow, you can stay back during lunch, and we can answer more questions to help you install this on your local computer. Okay, it seems majority of you were able to do it. I can see a lot of plus from the comment box. I can see minus as well. All right, so with that, I'm going to hand it over to Fred to take over from there.
All right. All right. Thank you, sir, for that wonderful moment of pre-lab session again, just like yesterday. Thank you, sir. We're going to move into the very next session of this event, which is the tutorial, the lesson part proper. So I'm going to be inviting our speaker for today, who is going to take us on the... Please just give me a moment. He's going to be taking us on GIT GitHub. And I am very optimistic that it's going to be another fulfilling day, just like yesterday, for those who were here yesterday. So I'm going to be inviting Brother Peter Tsaha to come up, and he's going to take us through GIT or GitHub. Thank you very much, sir.
All right, thank you very much, Bro Fred. And I welcome every one of us to this training day 2. Oh, you are highly welcome. I really appreciate your commitment to improving yourself, and together we hope that God will help us to conquer this. I understand that many of us are not able to catch up yet, but with time, I'm sure you will catch up, because these things are basic things. They just need you to get it once, and you keep running with them. So they are not so complex. You just need to take a closer look and to give it some determination, rather than give up. And before you know, you are into it and you will get going. All you need is to get a strong foot in it, and then you will keep going. So please don't be discouraged by there's so many things that are going on and are sounding or just looking to you very strange. You will soon get along. So please don't be discouraged. Okay, having said that, we are going to be discussing about Git, and we'll also talk about GitHub. I will go ahead and share my my slide, the material we have been using for this section. Let me share the link so that we can access it. And so that we'll get going and you follow along as we proceed. Please, well, if you have the link, can you help me do that as well, so that we save time?
Sorry, do you mean the slides? Is it on the? I don't seem to have them. I don't seem to have the link. Have you shared it on the instructors channel?
Okay, I thought.
No, I don't have. If you can send the link to the channel, then I can pick it up. Yes, so I'm still waiting for you to share it. I don't have access to them. I have the old slides. I do know you shared the old ones, but the new updates I don't have. I don't have it. Or do you mean there were no changes on the former one, the old one? Hello, are you still there? Fred, can you check
Okay,
if?
I can hear you.
Okay, so I was just asking that I don't have access to the one you um you just spoke about. Have you shared it?
Yes, thought. Let me try and do that. Now, I thought I did,
So
but
is
since
it that you're not able to share the slides from your end? Because
I was trying to get it, uh, but I mistakenly closed
all
my
right, take your
drive.
time then.
So
Okay, take your time.
I was trying. I'm almost there.
Okay, all right, okay, take your time.
Let me share. Let me be sharing my screen so we can be following.
Okay,
Am I permitted to do that?
sure, go ahead. It's your time.
Right. So I'll be able to put it up on my GitHub. So when to okay, they can only view. So let me copy the link and put it down. This is for GitHub. I've shared the link for that, and I'm going to share the cheat sheet I'll be using. You'll be able to access it, right? I can see that you're sharing your screen.
Oh, do you mean? I thought you wanted to share your screen from your end. So if you still want me to share it, I can go ahead. I already have.
No, I saw yours displaying. That is why.
Oh, okay. I didn't know. Okay, probably. Okay, sorry about that. You can go ahead with sharing now.
Right. So can we see my screen?
No.
Not yet. It's showing that you are sharing. Are sharing.
You can see it, sir.
Okay, go ahead.
It's all
Well,
right.
I can't see it from my end though. Let me try that.
All right. So please, if you can see it, please let me see your comments in the in the chat section. Or rather, if anyone cannot see it, let me know. Let me
Okay,
just
go ahead.
indicate.
Yes.
All right. I'm sure we are all seeing it because I've not seen any comment, any chat. If you cannot see, just type a minus so I can know that we are on the same page so that we proceed.
Go ahead. Everything is sharing now.
Okay. It's all right. Please, someone is needing the link to the materials. Can someone help me reshare them so that okay. Okay, that is good. It's okay. Okay, so we are going to be briefly discussing GitHub, and the code space will be coming in the instruction in the hands-on section so that we get to see how it is run in practice rather. So we are going to just give you a little introduction and discuss what Git is and what GitHub is, and then the code section will come later. Many people will hear of Git, hear this on Git. I'm sure even in this training, many of us have heard that a number of times. That download it from your Git. You can access our Git link and get codes. You can get the materials on our GitHub. I'm sure some have not yet understood what GitHub is. But during this instruction, we do our best uh, to explain what it is and to show you how you can also use it because it's very, very important. So without wasting time, what is Git? What is Git? Or I would have loved to hear from people who have an idea about it before, but because of want of time, I will not I will not want to go into that. So the little explanation that I have here is Git is a free open source distributed version control system, and it was created by Linus in 2005. It's not too old a technology, and it came in handy to address a very serious and very useful um, task in sharing of information and collaborations. So here I have it says it tracks changes in source code and enables efficient collaboration among multiple developers. Actually, it's not just developers that use GitHub. It is widely used and it's very good for effective collaboration. Those are the main things that we will spell out for Git. Say it is used for tracking changes. You can see in the definition, those ones are in bold. And you see those that are in bold, is for emphasis. Version control system and to track changes, efficient collaboration among multiple developers. So what are those terms? What does those terms, what's the meaning of those terms? Okay, when you say something is, or let me go ahead, unlike centralized system, e.g. SVN, Git stores the full project history locally, allowing offline work and full access to version history. Let me go over and explain some things before we go to the next slide. Git is a free open source. It means you don't need to pay money. Open source and it's free. It's open to all to access freely. You don't need to pay money. You don't need monthly subscription on Git. You don't need any first time subscription. Like when you want to use some apps online, they will ask you to pay some money in dollars, at least for the first time. Git is not so. Git is not like that. It's just free, just like you open an account on Facebook or you have Instagram. Those are free. They are free. They are open for free subscription. And here, when you say open source, it means it's a source where you can get something. So it's open source. Some people were saying, where can I get projects to try my hands on? Where can I access this Python thing? How can I work on projects and put it on my GitHub? How do I get that? You can source materials from GitHub. You can source materials from Git. So it's open source. It's good. It's an open source material. You don't need subscription. That is just the first thing. When they say it's open, free and open source, it means you don't need uh, financial subscription. And it's version control system. It's a version control system. We are going to talk about that more. And it tracks changes. The most important thing, or let me say one of the important things like highlighted in this definition or in the explanation is it tracks changes. That is what makes Git very, very important. It tracks changes in source code and enables efficient collaboration among multiple developers. What we mean by track changes is that you have different versions of your work, and at each step, maybe you are adding up, but you don't want to discard the previous versions. Just like we already know in programming, you you are a developer. What do you mean by developer? It means you are working on a project. When you are working on a project, it develops from one stage to the other. So all the versions, Git helps you to keep track of them so that if you want to refer to any of them, you can easily go back to it and see how the codes were. Maybe there are new developments, but you can still see the previous version, how it started, and those can be for reference purposes, and it's very important. In fact, that is how development is done. All the apps you see online, you see that Facebook, the way it started, it has developed to a new stage now, that if you compare the version now with how Facebook started, you will see that it's not the same. So they keep incorporating new features, keep developing it, and adding new features. But Git will help you to track how it started and how the version have been improving over time. The versions are also you can see how it was. The versions are time tagged, so you can see the date that this particular version was and when it was updated or when it was changed to a newer version. So that is what it means by track changes. There are changes in your development history or your development journey. You can track those changes with GitHub. And now efficient collaboration. GitHub also allows different programmers to be working on a project together. And this is one of the things that makes many companies to want people who have experience in Git operations, because now the way things are, the world is gone digital. People are into remote work. You don't necessarily need to gather on the round table and be working and exchanging physical files like it was done before. This person will mark, we sign and give it to the other person to sign. And when you are developing, you sit in one place discussing and asking this, trying to put your own, this one like that. All this can be done online efficiently with Git. You can even be working on and you can be working on your fragment. Maybe you are, for instance, you are developing a website. Another person is tasked with the front end, another person the back end. This work is divided among different developers, and they are doing their own and putting there so that they come up with a complete project. And you could even assess what the other person is working on through working on. And so we are coming to that. But Git works on your machine. You can develop it. You can develop. You can update the changes, add them, and also commit them, and then you push them to the public repository. So that is what that is what collaboration means. It's just an English word explaining that people work together. That is what it's another term for teamwork. So people can be working together at different locations, collaborating on the same project. I think I've tried my best to explain that to our comprehension. This is just the opening, and I want us to get it very well so that when we get to the other sections, you can easily relate. So if you don't understand anything, don't worry. As we proceed, you will get to understand. So there are many other version control systems. Like I spoke about version control system. It keep track of your version, different version of your work. So others also do that, but GitHub came with very impressive features, and that is why it's commonly used. It's widely used by programmers worldwide, and it's a very good skill to get. It makes you, it just keeps you ahead of other programmers that doesn't have Git skill, Git experience, Git skill. When you apply for jobs, most jobs as a developer, they will take you serious when you have Git experience. So please, no matter how it is, you work on the project, no matter how little it is, put it on GitHub so that that will serve as evidence of your proficiency in as a developer. It doesn't just speak about your skill, but it also speaks, communicate to employers that this person is actually serious with development. He has Git, he can work remotely. If we give him, if you have access to our Git, you can see the track changes. He can work efficiently. He can easily collaborate with us and work remotely since he has Git experience. I hope you understand. So now let's go ahead to the next slide. If you have questions, remember to drop them in the chat. So what version control is, I've already explained. The management of changes to document, computer program, large website, and other collection of information. So just like, let me give you an example again. When you were working on your project, you started with chapter 1, that is version 1. We have version 1 here. And then later brought chapter 2. And later, this chapter 2 was added to chapter 1 and you submitted. Then later you developed to chapter 3 and chapter 4. Sometimes even with a complete project, you have the complete version of your project, version 1, and your lecturer, your supervisor made changes to the project. So you come back and effect the changes and you have version 2, and there were still some changes, you change them, and you have version 3 of your final work. So version 3 still had some changes. Maybe you were to change the references, you were to work on the references or something. So you will work on it and have version 4. Why are we keeping all these versions? Because sometimes by the time you get to version 4, another supervisor, maybe you have two supervisors, and one said, I don't like your reference the way they are. I go and change them in this particular way. And maybe that was the way you had the reference in version 2. But because you edited it without keeping any version, you will have to go back and work again to effect the changes that you previously did in version 2. And I understand how that can be very frustrating if you are not keeping track of the versions as you develop. So development, actually coding is very stressful, and except with the help of vibe coding now that things are better with AI, things are better if not. But doing the same work that you did, maybe you may not even give your time. It is time consuming going over to, because of the instruction from the other person. So if you are keeping version of the work, by the time you get to version 4 and you are needing some changes that were in version 2, you just branch and merge them with version 4. So it becomes easy, it becomes better, and it makes work to progress faster. Anybody seeing the code will understand how the version develop over time. So that is what is called version control. It keeps track of this version and the time each version came on board. So when you are tracking the history of any app, you can follow their versions as they were migrated on, they developed on GitHub. No, on Git. We are discussing Git now. So this is what Git helps developers to achieve. So there are some terms we are going to be coming across in the course of the training. When you are dealing with Git, you talk about directory, which in simple terms is folder. I understand. I don't think I should be explaining what a folder is, but for the sake of those who doesn't know what a folder is, the saving location on your system where files are kept. Files and other folders are kept in a folder. So a folder can house another folder. So directory in Git terms is referred to a folder. In case you don't know what a folder is, let me show you quickly on my system. These things in yellow here, this thing now is a folder. This is a folder, and if you double click on it, it opens and it has files in it, and it houses other folders too. So this is the I've opened the folder. This is a personal site. That is the name of the folder, and it has other folders inside. I can open this other one, and you see other folders and files inside. So that is what a folder is. But when you are dealing with Git, we call it directory. I hope I'm going elementary. I'm trying my best to be very, very, very elementary so that all of us we follow. Okay, so when you hear of CD in Git, that is CD, we talk about change directory. Change directory. We already know what a directory is. So when you are in a particular directory and you want to access another one, you change directory and you reference that one and it takes you into the other directory, because as you're working, there are other files. You need to be accessing different folders, different files. So you change directory and it launches you into a new directory. And the terminal, another term is terminal or command line. I think we have been hearing the word command line, command line, command line. So what is it? And why is it important for developers? And CLI is also command line interface. The interface is the environment. Command line is where you enter an interface where you enter text commands, text commands, text commands. Okay, if you can go to your search environment, let me quickly show us that you can go to a search and type CMD. CMD, that is the command prompt. Can you see my screen? If you can see my screen, let me know. Just type a plus in the comment in the chat. All right, okay. Okay, I'm sure we are following what I'm doing. So thank you very much for the feedbacks. I saw somebody with the minus and plus. What did you actually mean? You are seeing and you are not seeing? All right, maybe that is a mistake. Someone say my system does not have a search. So how do you click on I'm using Windows. If I click on the Windows, the startup menu comes up, and there's a provision where you can search. You can search for things. You are seeing with one eye. Okay. All right. The one eye too is helpful. So let's go on. So this is the environment we call command. We call the command line. You don't have any environment to click things. In fact, when computers began, it was very difficult to work with computers because you needed people with experience to be able to work here. So uh, until this graphic user interface came in, so that you can use a mouse to click on something and the command takes place. If not, you were to enter all the commands here for your work to be done. Like when you install Python, I want to check whether it's installed. You come here and type and check if that is done. If you enter text commands here, as I'm typing, you see that the text is coming out. So you enter commands here to check that. Okay. So having said that, let's go ahead. I think I just wanted you to see the environment. You enter text here and those things happen. All right, so I was on CLI, command line interface. So this is the interface, the environment. This is the environment. So like when you install Git, I think you enter Git and you enter version to be able to know the version of Git that is running on your computer. It's showing me Git version 2.50, 2.54.0. It's on Windows. It's on Windows. Okay, so I can now access, if I say cd, that is change directory. I can reference where to I want to change, or I can say status. I can just check on status to know what is there. Those are some of the commands that you enter in this place. You can enter status to know what is there. Status is not recognized and enter. Okay, that is not okay. So, but let me not go into the hands-on section now. When we get there, we will take you through the basics. But that is the interface. Just wanted to see the interface and see that text commands are entered there. So repository. We are going to be hearing about the word repository. The short form that programmers usually call it is repo. If you are hearing someone talk about repo is a short form of for repository. So is the project or the folder where your project is kept. All the files that you are going to be working on, the project and folders, you call the main folder that contains all of them, called the repository. If not, the repository is also a folder, but it's a bigger folder. It's the mother folder that contains all other files and folders. It's actually called a project in some terms. Like on my computer here, I have this repository. I have it as a project file. The name is personal site. And when you open it, you see other folders, just like I demonstrated before. You open and you see a lot of things in it. So that is this whole project, this whole folder is called a repository in GitHub operation. So some of these terms you need to get, we are just introducing you to them. Maybe you have heard about it, but you don't understand it. But some of us know about it already. And GitHub is different from Git. GitHub is a website for your remote Git repository. A website for your remote Git repository. We know what a repository is. I know what is Git. So maybe I should talk about remote, or maybe a website. We know what a website is. And this website hosts your repository. The one I'm showing you here is on my system. This repository is on my system. If I want to transfer it to my GitHub account, I'm moving it to my local computer to a remote repository. So that is what GitHub does. GitHub is a hub where your local project or repository can be hosted. And when you can host it public for others to access your work, maybe you work on a project and you want to showcase it to the world, You can host it on GitHub and you can keep it public. You can as well host it and keep it private. But no, people will not see that one. When you host it and it's public, people can access it and probably work on it and use your experience, use what you do and work on it. You can as well access other people's work on GitHub. It's a website where you go there, you host your work, you share with people, and uh, that helps a lot in collaboration. When you are working in a team, those people that are in different locations, all the changes you are infected on your local computer, you must push them to GitHub before they can access it. They will know the level you have gone with the development, and then they will be able to you will also be able to pull down the changes they have put. They are also done on the progress they have done on the development stages or the development stage, the current development stage. You can just see it there. It's hosted on GitHub, so it's a website. So Git is locally hosted on your local computer, and GitHub is a remote place where your repository are hosted. Okay, so Git command, there are some common Git commands that we use in doing working with Git. So the first one here we have on this slide is clone. Clone is a command you use to bring a repository from GitHub into your folder on the local machine. So you create a folder on your local machine and you go to GitHub, and that repository is already on the GitHub. So you use the clone command to bring it to your local computer. That is what clone does. It brings the version of that repository to your local computer. And add, when you work on that, is add tracks your files and changes on Git. By now you should know that Git is on your local computer. So when you are working on your local computer and you make some changes to files, you need to add them. You use the add command to add them to this. You need to add them or stage them. You call it staging. You stage your changes. And then after staging your changes, you commit them. That is to save your files in Git. You stage them and then you commit them. Commit is like saving it. Just like you press save on the system. When you are done with working, you add them to the staging, you stage them, then commit them, save them. You stage them before you commit them. So after committing, you push. So to push is what? To upload Git commits to a remote repository like GitHub. When you have saved them, now it's time to push them to a remote repository, which may be GitHub. Okay, and then the pull command is download changes from remote repo to your local machine. That is the opposite of push. Push moves it from a local machine to GitHub, a remote repository, while pull brings down the changes you made, it downloads changes from the remote repo to your local computer. Maybe those are changes that maybe you are working on a team, you are working on a project in a team, and there are changes to codes. So you need to access them so that you'll be updated with what is going on, the level of the programming. So someone is already asking a question, but I hope there will be time for question. It's good you have all questions, drop them in the comment section. We are coming to the question and answer segment. So another Git command is branch and merging. Branch It's another command, and merging. So when you are working on Git, there is a possibility that you want to branch and do some work away from the main branch. That is breaking and reconnecting to the main branch. You want to try out some things and you don't want the main code to be affected. Maybe what you want to do, you are not quite sure, you are just testing it, and it's a very good technique. So you branch, do it, test it. When it runs very well, you can now merge it to the main branch. That Git allows room for that. You can just, maybe sometimes in mathematics, when you are solving you come to a point, sometimes you want to do some rough work before you continue with the solving, so that you see the progress of things. And when you do that, you get it correct, you come back and continue solving till you merge it. That is, you merge back what you work away. So we are going to be seeing that branching and merging is a very good technique also. And then fork. A fork is a copy of a repository. Forking a repository allows you to freely experiment with changes without affecting the original project. And forking is mostly done when you can access any repository someone work on. I said they are hosted, anyone that is hosted public, you can access it and fork it into your own GitHub environment, and then you clone it down to your system and work on them, and you can experiment with changes and do a lot of things. That is a picture of this fork is just like this instrument we use in eating food. You are eating, it's like a spoon. You love the meat in another, maybe in your brother's plate. He's having a big meat, or you tell him that I like eating chicken lap, and the one you are having is not chicken. So you can use your fork and pick the chicken lap that is in his food to your own plate, and then you can digest it, eat it, do a lot of things with the chicken you have just forked from his uh, plate. So forking is a way of copying or bringing a project, a repository. A fork is a copy of a repository from another person to your own work environment. Forking is a repository. Forking a repository allows you to freely experiment with changes without affecting the original project. That person's project is not affected, but you copy it into your own environment so that you will experiment with it. So the init uses this command inside. Init use this command inside of your project to turn it into a Git repository and start using Git with that code base. When you branch, maybe you branch from the main, you need to initialize the folder so that it recognizes it as a Git folder. Because as you are working in the main branch, when you open any other folder in your repository, it may not, Git doesn't recognize it until you initialize it. So you initialize it, you use the command to initialize it, you use the command inside of your project to turn it into a Git repository and start using Git with that code base. Okay, so how Git works. We have the working directory, which is the area where files are edited and modified. This represents the current state of the project on your computer. As you are working on it, that is the working directory. You will be working on it, maybe in VS Code. You are working on the directory. You already know what is a directory. So the working directory is the one that is currently open, and you are accessing files in it. You are making changes, adding things, changing definitions, trying to add some codes, develop it. That is the working directory. So when you check the status, it displays the working directory and it shows, it even shows you the branch you are currently working on. Okay, and then the staging environment. The staging environment is the intermediate area where selected changes are prepared for the next commit. It's an intermediate area. After doing your work in the working directory, like I said earlier, you want to inform Git that I'm done now. So you will add those changes into the staging area. It's an intermediate place where selected changes are prepared for the next commit. So when you stage them, we call them staging. So you stage them, and after from the staging, you now commit them to the local repository. That is when these changes reflect in the folder on your, maybe the main folder is on the desktop. All that you are working, the working directory is not, it's not real time. It's not changing the things that are in the folder. If you work on this working directory and you don't stage them and commit them, they will not come to the local repository. After your work, you just close it, close it. Nothing will change from the information on your local repository. So when you are done working, you stage them and then you commit to the local repository. But keeping it local on your computer will not allow people to see it anywhere else except they have access to your computer. The local repository is a storage where committed changes are recorded with full version history on the machine. So you see that this area that is having the gray color is a local, all this is locally done on your system. Now you can commit this to the remote repository. This color that is brighter this way, you see remote repository is an online repository, e.g. GitHub, used to share and synchronize the project with others. So that is how Git works. So when you are working, with this Git, you have this procedure in your mind. This is a graphical or a pictorial representation of all that I'm trying to explain. You have the working directory here. You use git add. After you have worked and added changes, you use git add command to bring it to a staging environment. You use the git commit to bring it to the local repository. And from the local repository, you use git push to take it to the remote repository where others can also access it. That is the part it follows. You can also use git fetch to bring commit from the remote repository into your local computer. And then from your local computer, you use git merge to bring all this to the working directory. You can as well use the git pull directly from the remote repo. You pull it into your working directory. So that is done using the URL, the remote URL. As you are working, you want to pull changes from the local remote repository. You will use the git pull and then you copy the URL of this remote repository and put it in the working directory. And then once you hit enter, you see that the changes that have been on this remote repository will be pulled to the working directory so that you work on them. And after your work, you will follow this path to commit, to add to the staging environment, commit, and then push to the remote repository back. This remote repo. Can also use the git clone. Git clone will bring a repository from the remote repository maybe from GitHub. You can clone the repository into your local machine and then bring it to the working directory using git checkout. You will check out and reference the name of the repository and you will be in it. It will bring it to the working environment. So these are the commands. These are some of the common commands you come across when you are working with Git. So Git works this way. This is the representation of the branching which I was explaining. This is the main branch. You created a branch here. It has the versions of file. You have file A version 1, file B version 1. You have two files in this branch. So along the line, you want to bring some changes. You want to add some files, or you want to work on the files on the version that are already available. And you don't want to affect the main branch. So that is when you branch to another branch. This is we call it feature branch, or we call it features, or many people call it different names, but it's a branch. It's a feature branch. You branch here and you added a C file. That is, you added a new file. Maybe you save it as C, file C, version 1. And then you just wanted to add it and check if it's okay. This is a new one. You added it and discovered that okay, that is fine. You are fine with it, and then you merge it back to the main branch. You just branch away to add the file. You can do many other changes, but in this illustration, what the change we can note, we can track here is a new file was added, which is file C, and it's version 1 of file C. So you add it to this to the main branch. So now when you check the main branch, you have file A version 1, file B version 1, file C version 1 in the main branch. So this is what the whole idea about branching. And when you are working, you may come across, you may have need of many branches, depending on the volume of your work and the things you have to integrate into the development process, the development period. So we started with file A version 1, file B version 1. So we branched at this point down, created a branch down here, and this feature 2 branch, this is feature 1 branch above here, this is feature 2 branch below. And all these branches, we branch because we want to make some new changes without affecting the main branch. But when you branch and do those changes, you merge back to the main branch. So in the feature 1 branch, what change can we notice? What change can we notice in the feature 1 branch? File A version 1 remain untouched. File B version 2 came up. That is an updated. When you change from version to another, we call it you have update the version. So version 1 of file B is updated to a new version, which is version 2. And file C version 1 is created. And then the whole process is merged back to the master branch. And in the feature 2 branch, a branch is created here. File A version 1 is the same. File B version 2 is updated. So you see that up here to version B, file B version has a new version. Down here, maybe this branching was done by 2 different persons. So they work on, this other person work on file B version 2. This person also work on file B version 2. You updated the file, and you also move to the next stage still in the branch, and also added a file which is file D version 1. So he now merge it back to the master branch. Now Manage and manage conflict. That is in file B, there will be conflict because this person changed this other branch. There was also version B was updated, and this also version B was updated. So when you merge here, we call it merge and manage conflict. You manage the conflict in the code because the computer is trying to reconcile the changes between the two branches. So there will be conflicts actually that will arise. So you have to have the skill of managing the conflicts as they arise. So GitHub, in a way of summary, GitHub now, we have finished talking about Git. Now GitHub. GitHub is an online platform for storing and managing projects and code. This branching is done on your system and it's locally. This is Git, working with Git. So you branch, you change this. I don't want to make it clear. You branch and change this, branch here and change this. You work on different branches and you merge and manage the conflict that will arise. So GitHub is an online platform for storing and managing projects and codes. I have already explained this. It allows you to share your work and explore projects created by others. It supports collaboration, enabling multiple people to work on the same project safely. It is widely used by students, researchers, and companies to organize and develop projects. And this is a picture of the interface, how Git looks like. You can equally go to your to Google and search, and then it will take you to this environment. If you type GitHub on your browser, you should have the first link. You click on it, will take you to this GitHub environment. So that is how you can access the website. I don't know, trying to meet up with time, so I don't want to be demonstrating too much. But if you come here, you type, because this is Google Chrome, type Git. As I've started typing, see that since I've been opening it many times, just suggesting that I should just click it. But if you type GitHub, you can access the login portion. If you say GitHub login, to bring you to the environment, then the first link here, click on sign in to GitHub. To click on it, to take you to the home page where you can sign in. Okay, I'm already signed in, so it just brought me straight to my dashboard. But to someone trying to sign in for the first time, it may not bring you here. So that is how you can access the GitHub online. All right, so I've already explained this fork. This is a project hosted, these are projects hosted or repos hosted by others. This person has thrown his project to the public, and then you search and you like it. Look at you here. You saw this and you love the project, and then you quickly fork it to your, look at, you pick this spoon, or no, it's not a spoon, it's fork. You pick it and pick this folder straight into your own. Look at you accepting it here. So you bring it to your GitHub environment and you can clone it into your system. Look at step 2. Step 1, you fork it from here. Step 2, you bring it down to your local machine by cloning it. Step 3, you bring it to your working directory. You edit it. To edit it and make changes, and then you push it back to your GitHub account, which will be hosted remotely on your GitHub. So if you are looking forward to getting projects that you will try your hands on in Python after getting the basics. I recommend GitHub. You can go there, search out for projects, you see what people have done, you see how coding, you see how they arrange their coding, you see the techniques they use in coding, and you build experience by looking at professionals who have worked on projects, and you also follow suit. So you fork it and bring it to this is your computer. This is your computer here. When you fork it into your GitHub account, you can clone it, work on it, and push it to your Git, and it remains in your account. Please, for you to be able to share, don't copy people's work and show them as your work. Don't copy what other people's projects and display them to look like your own. Because when you do that and you share with others, okay, thanks. Response to a question. Okay, so don't go and fork somebody's repository and don't work, and without working on it, you are showing people that it's your work. It's not acceptable. You must bring it to come and study it and make significant changes to it before you can say you have a full understanding of that. Actually basically is you work to see and build experience, especially for us that are learning now. When you bring the project, try to understand how the codes are working, what the person was able to achieve, and you can read the README. The README section of that program contains a lot of information about the repo, and you can follow along to understand the different segments. And there will be surely comments that the person will be making. So as you make comments in the code, you will be able to understand what is done. So that is a quick warning. Don't just copy people's things and claim ownership of it. So for now, that is the little we can cover on Git and GitHub. In the hands-on section, we are going to be seeing how these things work out in real practice. So thank you very much for following through this short section of instruction. I hope you learned something new. Maybe if you didn't understand very well, you can ask your questions. If you are so confused, maybe in the hands-on section on Git and GitHub, you'll be seeing everything done practically, so you will understand better. So thank you very much. At this point, I hand over to our facilitator, Mr. Fred. Please, Fred, are you there? Or he's taking over from me? I think I'm done, except for questions. Who will anchor the question section?
All right, sir. Sorry for that small lapse there in response. The question and answer session will commence immediately. Just putting your question in the comment section. I will read out the question just like yesterday, and then we'll take the opportunity to handle or resolve some few questions. We won't take all the questions, but we'll just take the very important ones that are not or that are unique. Does anyone have a question? Please put in your question. Okay, there's a question here. Pull, clone, fetch sounds to me like download. What is the difference?
Oh, it seems we can't hear you. Can you unmute yourself?
Okay.
All
Oh,
right,
sorry.
here. We couldn't hear you at all. You have to start again. Thank
Oh, sorry about that. I think I'm heard now. Let me check if okay, my mic is on. So I said, yeah, let me come to I don't know which language to use, but I tried. Okay, this is pool. The question says pool and what?
The question says push.
Uh-huh.
Sorry, pull, clone, fetch. Sounds to me like download. What is the difference?
Actually, the common word is download, but there are different levels of downloading. The pool. Let's go to that. I will be using is download actually in the simple terms you say download. This is fetch. Fetch is as you are taking from the remote repository to your local computer, we call it download. So you fetch from here to your local computer. You can say you download the changes and pull. But you see the level of fetch, it brings you from remote repository to your local computer. Then you use git push, git merge to merge it to your working directory. You see that this level of download, you can still call it download, you fetch it from remote to your local. You downloaded from the GitHub to your local computer. That is download. That is what people actually is coming from up to down. So it's downloading. You load your computer with what is coming up, but it's at a different level than pull. Pull takes it directly from the remote repository to your working directly. That is the difference between them. And this one also download. The clone also takes it from the remote repository to your local computer. But clone takes the whole folder while fetch brings the changes, brings down the changes. And pull also pull down the changes. In our definitions here, we're careful to talk about that. Clone brings the repository down, while pull downloads from remote repository to your local machine. It downloads changes. It's the changes that are added to your local computer. But clone brings a complete repository, the entire repository, brings it to the local computer. So this one will say download changes, this one brings the entire folder. So they are not actually the same. If you have understanding of what you are actually doing, you will know which command to use. So we can say they are downloads primarily, but they vary in their function. You cannot say how you can use git fetch when you want to clone. When what you actually wanted is clone, you cannot go and just fetch. Fetch means you use a cup and fetch from something, but clone brings the entire bucket of water to you. But fetch, you fetch from the bucket. But when you are pulling, you pull down changes from this place straight to your working directly and work on them and then follow the process of pushing them back so that you incorporate them in the remote repository. I think I've tried to explain that, except there is another expert who want to. Actually, Luper will be handling the hands-on section, and I believe we do great justice to all this. Even if he has to add to what I've said so far, that will still be very welcome. But I don't know the way of feedback. The person that asked the question, have we got some light?
Yes, thank you very much. I got your explanation. Is it that when you are fetching or pulling, it's your own repository, or you can still fetch from other people's or pull from other people's repository? I know you can clone somebody's repository, but push
When you
and
are
fetch, must it be a repository you are working on or something like that?
you want with other people's repository is to fork it to your own GitHub account. Then from there you can access it. I think that is the understanding I have about that. You work from your own GitHub account. From this explanation, fork is the one that will help you to bring to your. This is others work. When you fork it into your own, look at yours.
Yeah.
This is the whole. You cannot come to this other people's this thing and do anything. You cannot come and clone it here. You fork it here first, then you clone it down. Not to talk of coming to pull anything from somebody's work. So you work within your own GitHub account. If you have a remote repository, you fork it and then clone it down. You can put changes, you can clone the repository, you can fetch from your own GitHub account.
All right.
Just like
I'm
the instance I was showing, that maybe you are eating with somebody, the person has a piece of meat in their plate that you want. You first use your fork, pick it from there and put in your plate. But sometimes in real time practice, you can pick it from there and eat, but I don't think it works here like that. Here you have to work with your own directory. You have to work with your own GitHub, within your own GitHub account.
all right. Thank you very much, Mr. Saaha, Peter. Uh, I want us to move quickly, so we're going to move into the next second session now, which is AI assistance and vibe coding. Our instructor is going to be Bro Roland Abi. So, Bro Roland is up here. Please, can you just quickly take the stage?
Hey everyone. I hope you guys are doing good. Thank you, Mr. Peter. That was quite um interesting, interesting session there. The GitHub and Git thing usually throws a lot of persons up. I think I would crave everyone's indulgence to please be on at the hands-on section. I think that will clear your doubts. That will clear your doubt with fetching and pulling and cloning and what have you. So yeah. In this very brief session, thank you for making it brief. It's still very early for me. But I'll try to run through it as fast as I can. Please feel free to interject if you have any question. My goal today is it's not really to introduce us to something completely new. I feel strongly something we've all been using, and we just need to kind of understand what's the power of what we been using. Okay, I'm trying to pull up my slide here. Okay, there you go. Let me share my screen. Okay, I'm using a portrait screen. If it doesn't work for you, please let me know. If you can't see it, let me know. I'll switch the screen. Is it good for everyone? I guess the silence is okay. Let's do it this way, plus or minus. I'll give it a thumbs up if the screen is good for you. Okay, yeah, okay. You can see, but the size is smaller. Yeah, that was my fear. It's a narrow screen. Okay, good. I will try to let's sort that out. I guess we'll have to deal with this. I don't want to put us in a technical. I think it's good. So yeah, it can be landscape. So the was okay, I'm lost. Please don't be lost. Please someone find them. All right. My name is Roland. This is kind of like my third. I don't know. I've been doing this every year now. Third year or so, doing this, joining the DS summer class. It's like it's not part of like my summer it's part of my summer to-do list. So I'm glad you guys are all here, and I'm excited for all the sections that I could join in as well. And yeah, so AI assistance and vibe coding. How many of us, by way of audience, by way of participation, how many of us have used ChatGPT, Cloud, or Copilot, or Cursor? Just give a thumbs up, a plus, or something, an emoji you like. You've used Cloud, you've used Copilot, you use ChatGPT, all those guys, right? Yeah, great. I can see everyone. Someone see ChatGPT, like, bro. Yeah, it's a great tool, yeah. Grok, yeah, you know. Oh, my voice. Okay, yeah, got it. See, everyone else, you guys are good. You see, I'll perhaps just end the class here because everyone has used every. Please, if you can speak. Okay, don't know. Okay, everyone has used cloud. Everyone has used some form of AI assistant, ChatGPT, and all that. So the point is, you've all used the tool. So if you've used Cloud, you've used Grok, you've used ChatGPT, you've used Cursor, you've used Copilot. These are all AI assistants, and you're not in the 20th century anymore. You're in the 21st or 22nd century now. So you're up to date. which is great. So what we're going to try to do in this class is to kind of have a balanced look of what are AI assistants, what are they actually, and we take a high level overview of vibe coding. We're not coding anything today. And but basically this class is more of like a high level overview of AI assistants and vibe coding. What are they, and how best I know you've used it. I know you've used it. So, but what exactly are these tools? Right. So, what are AI assistants? You've used it to solve a problem. You've talked to it. You've chatted with it. You've coded with it. You've used it just to write and summarize stuff. Well, so who can give us an example of what they used ChatGPT to do recently? I'll share mine, but give me an example of what you used ChatGPT or Cloud to do recently.
We can use
anyone?
Hello? Good morning.
Yes.
Yeah, we can use ChatGPT for research purposes.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Great. Thank you so much for sharing. So you see how these tools are developed. First and first, all AI assistants that you know, ChatGPT, Cursor, what's it called? Copilot, they are all neural networks. Interestingly, they are neural networks, large, dense amount of neural networks that has been developed to make a prediction. So there are several, like, I think also like join the NLP class and you would understand a bit more about how ChatGPTs and the clouds were developed. Of course, they have great budgets and how they used it and how it was developed. But they're basically at the foundation level, they are neural networks. And they were built into something called large language models, right? As the name implies, large language models built upon the data on the internet. Data on the internet, like your Wikipedia, your Google, every data available on the internet. You see, that's why kind of I'm giving a historical background. That's why sometimes ChatGPT or Cursor or Copilot doesn't have information on what happened today because it was probably trained or retrained on data that was available like 3 days back. So these tools or these AI assistants, as we want to call it, they are basically models, neural network models developed to make a prediction. Developed to make a prediction. So it could be conversational. So how does it know to predict the next thing you're going to ask it? You ask it, what's the capital of Nigeria? And it knows Abuja because it has been trained on data available on the internet. So how does it know to predict what the next text means? Because it has been trained using NLP to tokenize the next word, to be able to predict the next bag of words, and so on and so forth. It has been trained on codes, basically all the code available on GitHub. So it knows what to do because it has been trained on all codes available on GitHub. And it has been used, you can use it to summarize text because obviously that was what it was trained on, to predict the next line of text. All right. And you all have used ChatGPT, you've used Cloud, you've used Copilot, you've used Gemini. I'm not yet to say which one is better than the other, but from your experience, you will know. I'm not their marketer, so to say, but from your experience, you will know which one is better than the other. So basically, that's AI assistants. They are trained on large, vast amount of text that responds to natural language prompts. You know, you've used it, ChatGPT, Copilot, and the likes. Yeah. So yeah. So the next thing is what's vibe coding? Like I said, this was just a high level overview of what you already know. So vibe coding is simply the act of describing what you want in natural language and letting AI write the code for you. Describe what you want. You want to build a website. You want to build a form to receive inputs. You want to build, anything, a portfolio, something. ChatGPT, Copilot Cloud, they are not just used for answering basic questions as like who is going to win the next presidential election of Nigeria, or they are not used to answer. I think if you simply do that, you probably not using it to its best capacity, right? So complex questions can also be used. But if you see my workflow here, the term vibe coding, Andrej Kapati, you can look him up. Great guy. I think he recently joined Anthropic, the makers of cloud. So you describe a problem to AI. AI generates the code. AI runs the code and observe, and you refine how you want it to feel. It's a loop. It's not linear. It's more or less cyclical. So I define the problem. This is what I want to solve. I want to build a marketing website, or I want to build a product, or I have this idea I want to push into the market, and I ideate with AI. I'm currently ideating something with AI for my work. So I ideate with AI. Oh, this is what I want to build. AI goes through it, runs the code, generates an output, and I refine it, and it keeps going and going and going and going. Yeah. So why do people actually love vibe coding and all that? Honestly, it has a real benefits. Yeah, there are great benefits to using. Yeah, I think a lot of persons are still having issues with this slide.
Or if there is a way you can send it to our channel,
Yeah,
then I
I'm
could
gonna try to
share
do the.
yeah, or to the email.
Oh, that's not what I want to do. Anyway, let me try to share this again. This shouldn't be happening. Okay, I think it's good now.
Yes.
All right, thank you. So, say for example, why do people love it? It's a great tool, actually. It's a fantastic tool. I use it as much as I can, and there are real benefits for students, especially. There's something I call it a patient tutor. I call it for me, it's a patient tutor. So why do we all love ChatGPT? Lower barrier entry. Now everyone can build any website. Anyone can build any website. Anyone can code anything. You don't need to know all the skills. You don't need to be an expert programmer before you can build something. It speeds the process. You can prototype, script, have first drafts, and all that. Instead of trying something you try to do for weeks, it can triple X your output, right? You can ask it why so many times and it will not get upset, right? So here's a joke, right? You have a lecturer and lecturer explains something to you, go to the lecturer, I don't understand. Can you refine? Can you say this differently? Can you do this differently? AI tools, they don't have emotions, right? So you can ask why several times and just try to have a deep understanding of what you're doing. So you're stuck on an error, and it gives you a starting point to react. So I was looking at a personal project. I was trying to develop an MCP tool for a personal project I was working on. I got stuck at a place where I needed to, after developing the tool, I needed to host it as stream data. Right. I have an API key that needs to connect my large language model, which you can see AI assistant, to the tool I developed. So that was where I was stuck. I'm not a website developer. I'm more of a data scientist. So that was outside my purview. So what I needed to do was to ask AI, how do I connect this and this? And it just started suggesting ideas. And yeah, I just worked with the ideas, and a few minutes later, it worked. Right. That was one advantage of using AI assistant. The second advantage that I've used it is while I'm actually working, I'm writing code, it's giving me suggestions. Copilot is very good at that. Cursor is also great. Cursor is like an advanced VS Code for those of us that have used it. And it's fantastic in doing development work and all that. So generally what AI does is it enhances our productivity when used in the right way. It enhances our productivity. Go beyond just using it to summarize text. Go beyond just asking it conversational questions. Go beyond that and try to take up a business idea. Ideate with AI. Ideate several times. Gives it scenarios. Give it edge cases, how to do this. Okay, this is what I observed. I was ideating on something. I said, okay, this would break at this point. If we do A, B is going to break at point C. And here I was like, yeah, that's a good thought. Let me think for a minute. It thought for a few minutes and it brought up another idea. I ran through it, and we just kept working. So yes, what leads me to the next slide, right? We had to be careful. I know we all love the tools. I love the tools. Vibe coding, AI assistants, tools. I love it. Yeah. I love all the tools. But here's where I don't like throwing caution to the wind. We have to be careful. AI can confidently make mistakes. It's something in the field we call hallucinations. It can confidently tell you something that's wrong with 100% confidence, not like, oh, I'm not sure this is right or wrong. No, it's very confident that the answer it's giving you is correct, but it's wrong. So AI can confidently make mistakes. So we have to be careful. I believe there was a time where I read an article on, I've forgotten the journal now, that was taken down because it was written entirely using AI. And the authors forgot to edit some AI language from the article, and the reviewers were able, it was published. It was later on someone read the article and was able to find out that, excuse me, this was written entirely by AI. So it can be wrong. There are hidden bugs and security holes. This is very important for developers. Code that runs isn't code that's safe. Vibe coded apps often skip validation and edge cases. I think I've mentioned these edge cases several times. So for every development, there are security protocols that it needs to pass through. AI doesn't have an understanding of what those security protocols is. Although it's very advanced, it might have been trained on how to do these checks, but there's still the human in the loop that's required to find the balance between what is acceptable in the real world and what AI can do. Okay. I'm sorry, I don't know. Okay, I'll try to speak very loud, but like that's the best I can speak. Well, I'll try to speak very loud. Yeah. Okay, sorry if I'm not very audible. Um, yeah, I'll try to do that. So there are shallow understanding as well. So there's still a place to understand the code, right? You can ask AI to docstring or to add comments to your code to help you understand, or try to prompt it to kind of understand what's actually going on behind. Because at the end of the day, this is a black box model, right? It's a black box model, and you have to try to want to understand what AI is doing. Try to kind of understand it. Again, it's your junior teammate. It's not a senior developer. It's not everything, every output that AI produces that's correct. I think we've talked about that. You can confidently make mistakes. And the last thing that we're actually dealing with largely in the industry is bias, privacy, and attribution. So currently, there are policies around what are the guardrails in the use of AI across different industries, across fintech, across healthcare, across capital markets, across engineering. Currently, there are policies, but they are not guardrails that can help protect person A from person B. While company will encourage everyone to use AI, exposure to AI also gives you exposure to private confidential data. And as a business, you don't want your company secrets out there. I don't know if we came across an article where an AI agent, deleted the company's database because it felt, I don't know, it felt something was wrong. So it just wiped out the entire database. So when there are no guardrails, AI is likely going to be, it's not yet so much as being autonomous yet. It's not at that stage. It's still trying to be autonomous. But for it to become autonomous, there has to be guardrails of things it can do and can't do. So as we go through using AI, as we go through exploring the use of AI in coding, I used it most of the time in coding as a coding assistant. I use it most of the time I want to come up with an idea or presentation. I asked it, this is the thought I have around this idea. Can you refine it? How will it sound to this person based on this person's position and all that? That's the two scenarios where I use AI most often times. And back again to bias and privacy. Importantly, I saw someone shared a phone number on the chat. Please don't do that on a public space, because just by sharing your phone number, I can probably have access to so many details about you. Someone who is a cyber security expert. Please apologize. I'm just using you as an example. Sorry to someone who is a cybersecurity expert is going to be able to have access to your demography, right? So that's something AI can't distinguish what's wrong and what's right here. You can add guardrails, such as for AI to be able to exclude PIIs, which are personal identifiable information, from passing through public or for public consumption. It can do it, but it can fail in some places. And the thing is this, there are bad use cases of AI. We're discussing, I think, during the past week, of how people are using AI to create very realistic document. So here's the funny thing, right? Whatsoever you give into AI, whatsoever you push into AI, data, information, whatsoever you give it to it, you're actually training it as well. You're training it on what to know about you, on what. Okay, let's do. I don't know how many minutes I have left, but let's use your chat GPT. Anyone that is using using chat GPT, tell chat GPT to roast you based on information that it has about you. Just tell it to roast you based on the information it has about you and see what chat GPT is going to tell you. Quickly, just tell it, roast me based on the information you have about me. And screenshot your response and post while we continue the class. You'll see wonderful things that ChatGPT is going to say about you. All right, let's move on. I'm still waiting for someone to give us a response. So in wrapping up this slide, I think I have 3 more slides to go. Be mindful in your work, especially in your workplace. Be careful on how you expose your private data to AI. Just be very careful because it doesn't know what is right or wrong. And the thing is, it keeps as much data as you furnish it with, it keeps that data. And it's going to use it to train itself. So imagine you share your BVN number with AI or your NIN number with AI or any of your identities, the personal identifying number with AI. It's going to keep it and might use it in the future against you. Okay, someone has shared something. This should be interesting. And say, based on the information I have about you from our conversation, I will rate you very highly in terms of academic commitment, research engagement, and lifelong learning, which is great. You see, it gave you everything about you because this is what you've been doing with AI. It tells you your set. It basically give you your resume, right? You see, you regularly work on research topics across this. Right? It tells you, oh, I still have 25 minutes. Oh, fantastic. Let's keep this conversation going. Right? Someone say you asked for it. This is a proper roast. This is you asked for it. Moses, your chat stats are moving like a startup still in a stealth mode. Account is 30 weeks old, but you are active like someone who pays rent in the app and only visits on holidays. I love ChatGPT from a distance. Since your average conversation depth is 1.6, you don't have conversation. You perform drive-by questioning. Can you imagine? You pull up like one question, then disappear into the Lagos mists before follow-ups can happen. You are on Android using a Techno too. That combination says I respect value for money, but I also enjoy living a little dangerously. And your average message length is around 65 characters. You text like every letter costs 5 naira. Half your messages probably arrive with the energy of explain why. But I respect one thing, you came in and voluntarily requested a rose. So you see, uh, I mean, have a good laugh at yourself, right? I just brought that up for us to have a good laugh at ourselves. You know, AI knows so much about you. It knows so much. It's your partner, right? It knows a lot about you. Yeah, take my word for it that it probably understands you more now than a lot of things you do online. Nothing about you is hidden. Someone can take up your AI history and it's more or less like your chat history, right? Your personal chat history can tell so much as to what. Oh God, I know. Yeah, I really came for you. This is you don't study pharmacology. You collect courses like Infinity Stones. Sorry. Yeah, AI can be very It's heartless. Can you imagine? It's heartless. Why would it tell you that it collects costs like infinity stones? Come on. All right, let's move on. Yeah, have fun, have fun. That's the whole purpose of the class today. I think we have been hard hit with Git and GitHub, so I just wanted to enjoy it. And so back to the course, like have a balance in how you use AI. It's a great tool, but you have a duty to exercise guardrails on what you share with AI. Actually, one way I try to max myself when using AI is to prompt it in a third person personality. I try to tell it sometimes like, you are this. Imagine you did this. Hypothetically, this would happen. What do you think this is going to be? So in that way, it doesn't sound like I'm the one asking AI. So AI can't really conclude for sure if it's a direct question, if it's just a hypothetical question. So as much as it's a great tool, please protect yourself on the internet. It doesn't take away every other information we share on the internet. Just like you won't go on the internet and share your driver's license or go to the internet and publicly share something private about you. Please be mindful of how we share with AI. It's a great tool, primarily developed to assist with development, software development, data science work, and now we're branching into text summarization and generation. We've actually moved past text summarization and generation. We've seen the effect it could have and how people can use it good or bad. So yeah, so next slide. Using it well as a learner. Now, this summer school is a great foundation for everyone, whatsoever area of specialization you want to get into. Data science, software development, whatsoever specialization you want to get into, you can use AI to learn now. Actually, I'm supposed to learn something later today, so I'm going to be combining what I see on YouTube and what AI can give to me, right? So it's your co-learner. Make it explain. Yes, it means your information still remains with AI. Yes, it has a memory, just like your browser history. Even if you wipe your browser history, it's still on Google's data warehouses. It can be used to subpoena Google to give information about you. So just be careful out there. So make it explain, not just produce. Whenever you don't take the first draft that AI gives you. I think that's something someone taught me. Don't always take the first draft or the second draft. Keep going, keep diving. I actually read an article on Medium that says if you want AI to give you the best response on something, ask it to rank order the response it gives to you in order of likelihood. Let you rank order it from the best to the least. And you see I give you, in fact, you discover that the first response it gave to you was actually the least response. So one way you can ask it, probably you're trying to summarize something or you're trying to ask for something to generate a text. Ask it to generate 5 versions of that text and rank order them. And then I'm going to tell you, this is the one that I feel you should use it and why I feel you should use this. And the next one is going to tell you, this looks close to this, and you can do it now. I know this is not the hands-on class, but you can do your own hands-on. Go to AI, you want to generate something. Ask it to give you 3 versions and rank order those 3 versions, which is the best. And it's going to rank order them in order of likelihood that you should use. So that's one way to ensure accuracy, not 100%, but to ensure accuracy with AI. Verify before you trust. Don't just blindly accept everything AI gives to you. Test edge cases. Like, there are scenarios that AI doesn't know about until you prompt it about those scenarios. You're still in control. In fact, if you're using ChatGPT, you're using Copilot, you're using Cloud, underneath the chat box, you will see that they'll tell you AI can make mistakes. That's a disclaimer. They always have it there that AI can make mistakes. So it's your responsibility to reduce the amount of mistakes AI can make. It can make mistakes. As advanced as it has become, it can make mistakes. It can help you learn faster, but it can also make mistakes. Stay in the loop. Don't just run and accept. While you're vibe coding, hopefully in the hands-on class, you'll be taught how to develop a full website. Yeah. You probably don't know anything about HTML. I don't know about HTML, but I can develop a website. Well, I can use an intuition based on what I know. But you can develop a website. But then you still have to stay in the loop. Type some yourself. Don't let AI just become the master of everything. Obviously, that's what vibe coding is. But then if you want to build something lasting, you have to still be in the loop. Importantly, I think I can't even emphasize this. Please protect your private data. Protect your private data. And for me, when I use AI, I always try to start with, I ideated this with AI. Since organization are encouraging everyone to use AI, I try to put this forward that I ideated this with AI. AI helped me in generating the content. There's nothing wrong with that. Very important, being the loop. Very important. There's nothing wrong in disclosing that you ideated with AI. In fact, it's encouraged, right? It's encouraged to ideate. You're encouraged to ideate with AI. Once you say you're ideating with AI, then you are in the loop. You're still in control. And AI is not the alpha and omega in what you just developed, right? And importantly, have the fear of God though, when you're using AI. Yeah, have the fear of God, please. Don't use it to commit fraud. I think that's why they kind of put a stop on the latest Anthropic model, Fable, because its capacity was, I believe Froster would just use it to turn the world upside down, probably World War IV or World War III breakout, because it's capable of doing quite strange things, can expose a lot of persons and a lot of information. So I say this to me, please be honest, protect your data, have the fear of God. And many of us knows that the Pope, Pope Leo, is also part of the AI ethics committee. I think other bishops and I think other pastors and clergymen are part of AI ethics committee. The reason is this, because AI is getting very advanced and there's a potential for us to ignore humanity in the development of AI. So they're bringing this clergymen to help us have an understanding of what ethics and guardrails can we have around AI, right? What ethics and guardrails can we have around AI? So if the developers are trying to do all this, then you as a user you should also take caution and try to protect yourself as well. Hope I'm making sense. I think this is my last slide. Yeah. So what are the things, 3 things I want you to remember, 3 things I want you to take home. AI assistants are brilliant tools. Please use them in development. Please use them in ideating. Please use them in summarizing. Please use them in developing new research topics, as the case may be. They are powerful, but they are not magic. AI assistants and vibe coding generally speed you up, but they predict, they don't understand. It's still your duty to understand what's going on, right? Please stay accountable, verify tests, and read the output. The tool is your junior teammate. The judgment is still yours. 2 is your junior teammate. It's not the judgment. It's not it's not your head. It's not your senior partner. Is a junior teammate. So the judgment of whatever you develop is still yours. Learn with it, not around it. Use it well. It's the most patient tutor you will ever have. Use lazily. It hollows out your skills. So essentially, learn with it. Play with it. Ask it questions. There was a time I used Cloud to come up with something, and I told it, this thing is wrong. Your response is wrong. You use the wrong data to develop this. And Cloud was like, oh, I understand. Yeah, that's actually wrong. Let me try this again. So learn with it and use it to its best potential. Don't just stop with summarizing text. I hope we've been able to have a good discussion. I don't know how many 1 more minutes I have, but please, if you have any question, you can drop in the chat. If you have any discussion you would like to have, like unmute, like I like to have like because I just want to have like a discussion, like okay. Yeah, if you want to ask any question, yeah, this is a good time. I'm actually done. Let me add a thank you deck so you guys know I'm done. So I'm actually done. The deck is gonna share. I don't think there's much information. Oh, I see after minutes. All right, great. Please ask your question. I need this 6:45. But please, if you have any question, please go ahead and ask your question. I'll stop sharing. Okay, I'll stop sharing. Yeah. Let me know if you have any question. With Yeah, it's really just vibing, just discussing and all that. Nothing serious. I think we have how do we then make use of AI to generate text or ideas and wouldn't be like the original ideas from AI? You mentioned something related to that. That's a great question. So the idea is still yours, right? The the point I'm trying to make is don't just go to AI and say, generate 10 business ideas for me. Bam. AI, of course, AI is going to generate 10 business ideas for you. But say you have, if you want to start a business, you would probably brainstorm around the idea. You brainstorm, this is what I should do. This is my market research. This is how I should go about researching about this. This is what I want to know. You have AI at your disposal. Previously, you go to Google and do all this research, but you have AI at your disposal to speed up that research process. To speed up the research process. It becomes bad when you just garbage. Of course, it's a garbage in, garbage out too. When it becomes bad when you just like You ask it, it gives it to you, you take it, you run with it. But it becomes your junior partner when you start having a conversation with it. Like, think with it, right? It gives you a response. You think through the response. I don't think this is it. How about we try to understand this and this and this? Of course, you can still make research with Google and bring AI up to speed with what you're actually thinking. That way, it's still an addition, it's partnership, and no one would hold you that it's not your original idea because you brainstormed with AI. If there's an individual, that's what you're still going to do. So you brainstorm with AI. So I think that's the way I would approach that, and that's the way I've approached it. So what's the impact of an AI in software? The impact is a lot. AI can basically write codes. It's like can write an entire code base for developing any app. If share something, I still have 5 minutes, right? Let me share something with you guys. For a person that asks, I use cloud a lot. This is what my cloud looks like. Sorry, I haven't used cloud during the past week. I used it on my other PC. Listen to what I'm going to talk about. You are a senior software develop a POC for students attempting to learn software engineering. Let's begin. You see what I did? You guys saw what I did. What was the first thing he did? Every development starts with what? A folder. You've learned that in your GitHub class. So every development starts with a folder. And that's exactly what it went for. So I just tell it, yeah, select a folder. I say, I want to probably create a folder. Software text. And that's it. I've told you what to do. And I hit my enter. Oh, okay, hold on, sorry. Oh, cloud. Sorry. Trust it. So look at what it does. In the next few minutes, it's going to try to want to do much more. And it just starts. It went into this wild goose chase. And in less than how many seconds is it? I'm using, oh, shakes. Okay. Sorry. I should have used the recent model. I should have used Opus 4.8. This guy is very slow. All right, but in your private time, just see, it's gonna give you the ideas. Interactive learning platform, web app where students do coding exercise, feedback, what type of. So these are all ideating, right? Please don't be scared. So if I pick one, I like, okay, yeah, that's the one. Okay, what's the front end? What's the tech stack you want to use? I'm like, let me go with what I know. Python fastly front end. And that's it. It just keeps going. It's gonna bomb my tokens. Well, no problem. I am gonna live long because I didn't use it last week. But it's gonna basically develop an app for me. It creates the project directory, does everything. Mine is just watch it, instruct it, And before you know, so it's just everything a programmer is gonna do, we're gonna do. So the impact on software development is actually huge. Is actually really huge. But what software programmers are really doing is to also use it to enhance their development. Don't just vibe code traits. Use it to understand. Vibe coding is best for proof of concept. It's not actually like the final product. For the final product, you really want to know what you're doing. But if you want to have a proof of concept, you want to show a POC, vibe coding is really good. And that's what the first thing he asked for was what type of POC do you want? It's best for you want to quickly show your investors, this is what I want to develop. As a novice that wants to develop a website or an app using vibe coding, how will you know a particular code generated by AI is wrong, and how can you debug it? Good question. When you run the app, you're going to know it's wrong. And you're going to prompt AI and ask AI to debug it and give you one thing I asked for it is what was wrong and how was it resolved? I think I've had someone ask me that question directly. I wasn't even vibe coding. I was doing another task. I was coding it myself. And someone asked me what was wrong, why was it wrong, and how did you resolve it? So basically, yeah, those questions. What was wrong? Why was it wrong? How did you decode it? Yeah, but remember as your junior partner, it doesn't have emotions, so you can ask it all the questions that you want. How do I verify a response when I don't have initial knowledge of the topic? It's always good to have initial knowledge of the topic. I would say try to do your research first and have some background knowledge. I'm not going to use this app. I'm not going to share this because I don't know anything about web development. I probably will need to sit down with someone that understands web development and understand the securities around this before I go ahead and if I want to present it. So that's where you still need software developers. AI might know how to generate code faster, but doesn't understand securities around development and all that. It understands how to write great codes, but there are some edge cases that AI just wouldn't be able to do. All right. So question, free or paid versions of AI assistants, what would you advise? Depending on the work you do. I was expecting this question. Depending on the work you do. I use paid version. I use paid version of Cloud. I use free version of ChatGPT. I think for the work I do, Cloud works better. I use it to code on VS Code as a coding assistant on VS Code. I use it to make analysis on VS Code. So I think for the work I do, Cloud is better. At coding generally, Cloud is better. At mundane tasks like text generation, I think ChatGPT is great. So depending on your budget, depending on your what you have to spend on AI, I spend some amount of money on AI every month. That's for me because I want to use it. I want to use the best. I want to use the latest model. The latest is 4.8, which costs more. So depending on the project, on the budget you have, then yeah, whether free or paid. And no one says you can't jump from one. You don't have to be loyal to one AI assistant, right? There's Gemini, there's Copilot, there's Cloud, there's ChatGPT. So go for as much as that answers your unique questions. Any more questions, please? More questions? What do you like to know? Oh, everyone, yes. So any more questions before Well, our app didn't develop on time, but you see what it's doing? It's gathering all the details and all the details and everything. And yeah, so please mark your attendance as well. Have your attendance. I just hope this would have been ready on time for you guys to see, but I don't think. See how much tokens are born? 18,000 tokens. I don't know how much that costs. Maybe 2,000 naira. Can you also generate? Yes, I think you can. It costs more money though. I think this 18,000 tokens will be about 1,000 naira or 4,000 naira. I don't know. Check it. I'm just giving it allow. Ideally, as a software developer, I'm just doing allow because I don't even know what it's doing. See, but it's a proof of concept. If I had to develop this as into a viable product, I would need to contact a software development. There are requirement gathering, there are edge cases that I just can't cover it for what it's worth. I just can't. Only a software developer can, right? And the software developer would also use AI assistants in their work, but they just understand details, different details that the AI needs or that the project needs rather. Any more questions? I think I'm almost out of time here, but I wanted to show us this project. I think it's gonna be ready. Shouldn't it? The reason why it's slow, okay, the reason why this is slow is because, and this is something we want to look out for, is because I'm using the lowest effort model. Sonnet 4.6 is Cloud's worst model. The best is supposed 4.8. I should have started with that actually. But for some reason, yeah, just like I said, I didn't look up for it. Just done thinking. Give me 1 minute. I don't know what's coming up next, but give me 1 minute. Python. Oh, using steps. God. But anyway, that's how long. This is if it takes an AI this long to do this. We've been doing it for 9 minutes and some seconds. And now imagine how long it takes an individual, a human, to get done. Right? AI just speeds the process, but it doesn't take away the effort that we put into developing it, right? It speeds the process, but it doesn't take away the effort. It helps you get things done faster. It's actually testing the product. It's actually testing the product and doing all the tests that the software developer would have done if he were the one developing this. If this were a software developer, is doing all the tests that developer would have done. This is taking way too long. Sorry, guys. Yeah,
Yeah, maybe we'll try it later on
we'll
when
try it
when we're
later on.
using
But
Copilot.
or if it shows, I'm gonna just screenshot what it generated and share with you guys. But thank you, fellas. I appreciate the stop spending my money with me. And I would see you some other time.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Roland Abi, for such a wonderful and informative session on GitHub. Sorry, on vibe coding. Sorry. Now, I just wanted to add in one or two based on my experience with AI. Initially, I didn't even realize what I was doing was vibe coding. I started a personal project for my religious institution back home here. And when I started, initially it was more like a hobby. I wanted to just do something that came into my mind during my free time. But it evolved into something very huge. And there are a few questions that were asked here that I thought I'm going to chip in the answers. Number one is that whether you need a free or paid version depends on the depth of what you want to do. At some point, I realized that I was going to need a paid version of ChatGPT. Why? Because there is a limit to the memory of the free plan. So I noticed my answers were coming in slowly, and also the AI seemed to miss out some important points. So I quickly had to test the trial version. And true to its word, I noticed there was a change. There was a leap in capacity. There was a leap in the productivity too of the system. So I would answer that to say, depending on the depth of what you're working on, you may be required to do a premium plan to get stuff done quickly. Now, talking about the role AI plays in our day-to-day life, or the interplay between humans and AI, I would rather say the most important skill that will be required going forward is critical thinking. AI is going to make a lot of mistakes, and sincerely, whether in the premium plan or in the free plan or in the highest plan, you're going to see some inconsistencies, some errors here and there, but you will only be able to notice it if you're given to critical thinking. I noticed that, in fact, one of those days I was almost frustrated because it was returning back something else different from what I was expecting. I had to critique every line, every feedback, and that was when, so the AI, the system started seeing its own error, and then, providing alternatives. So immediately it opened my eyes to the fact that you see that small piece of writing at the footer, that AI can make mistakes. Yes, 100% AI can make mistakes. So you are a human, you have a mind, you have your cognition. So you should be able to identify when something is not right, because the AI is just a tool, and treat it like an assistant. Do not treat it as the head. Otherwise, you get some terrible outcomes. So I was able to get stuff done, and sincerely, I was very impressed. But that is not to mean that there were no pushbacks. There were no difficult moments with using the system and what it was producing. But I stuck to it, and I insisted that a certain result has to come, because I knew that was the way. Even though AI was trying to make me feel that it was not possible, but it was done eventually. So I would say vibe coding is going to become mainstream in the, as we move forward in time. However, just like our speaker said earlier, do not make the mistake of relying completely on AI. The goal is to interplay with artificial intelligence, to be able to use it as a tool, and then to think along with it to be able to get or achieve your goal. Thank you very much, our speaker, Mr. Roland Abi, joining us all the way from the United States. Thank you. So I want to quickly, in the absence of any other question, we are going to draw the curtain here and take a bow for the morning session. We're going to come back again by 2 p.m. Just make sure you have filled in your attendance sheet for the morning and answer the questions and submit it immediately. We're going to come back by 2 p.m. and we'll start in earnest. Once again, thank you for staying put. I'll see you again shortly.